There's a bunch of Iron Less people working on that show, so.
Man, I wonder if they did that then.
I don't know. Well, I just hit go, so I don't know what we can talk about anymore. So.
Oh.
We should talk about how he came in the room.
Yeah, we should probably.
Yeah, how does he enter the room? Let's talk about
through
it.
the
Dick
rafters.
first.
Oh.
That's how I walk in the room.
Private eye.
So wait, so you walk around with your hips that far forward?
when I only when I walk into a room, I just kind of
Okay.
I give it a quick thrust just to make sure that my dick's presence is felt before my
Dick presence.
dick presence.
So wait, you're saying that like your dick is
Richard
like
Presence.
like the first entry into the room? Like there could be trouble, and you're
Yeah.
sending your dick in first.
Yeah.
You never go in
That's-
dick first, man.
No, that's how I assert
You
myself.
dick scout.
No, I don't even scout. I just go right.
Dick
in
scout.
there.
Yeah, it's like a periscope
Scout,
looking
private
through.
Breaching maneuver.
Yeah. Just blast in dick first. And
Oh man, I had to open a new window.
take whatever comes.
Yeah.
And then some.
And scene.
All right,
Going
going back to
flashbang, if you know what I'm
There
saying.
it is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
A little bit of the Willie Pete.
A yes and.
Throwing some white phosphorus fire.
No, dude, man, that's not cool. You've crossed the line.
It is considered a war crime in some countries.
Yes.
Most countries.
Everywhere.
I mean, my penis.
Oh.
what? Having it burn when you go.
I mean, my penis.
That was good. Speaking of that comic timing, there it was.
Timing, snappy jokes.
I mean, my penis.
Blah, bizarre.
Tick, 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 boom. That's the
Yep.
that's the secret to comedy right there.
Right.
Good evening, Jeremy.
Google
Hello.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Welcome
We're
to
online.
Dick Chat.
Shit, that was all online.
We talking about my dick.
I might just leave this GIF up all episode.
It's inspiring.
Just every
Yeah.
few minutes, just look over and watch this girl kick this guy in the nuts so hard that his spine and
I
his
apparently need to see
skull
this, and I
comes
gotta
out of
say,
his head.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Like literally, just
guys
his
just
head
all-
splits open
Hold on,
and it shoots
I'll-
up out of
I'll
him.
get there.
Who is she? How is she? Like you've watched the show, right?
I have, yes. I'm up to date.
Who is she, and how does she kick a man's spine out the top of his head?
There's literally no way I can explain it to you.
Okay, is she an American
Am I just
god?
gonna know what this is when I start to see it?
No.
No? Because it doesn't start like I'm thinking it's going to start?
Are you on YouTube trying to find
No,
it?
I went to Giphy.
I don't know if Giphy's got it or not.
Oh, I thought you said you were looking at
Just,
it.
well, it is, but it's not on Giphy.
Oh, well,
As far as I know, it's everyone credits stars on it. But just Google
It's an
American
official
Gods
stars.
Kick, and the first link will be an Uproxx link where you can see it.
American gods, American gods, American gods,
not
American
animated.
gods.
What the fuck are you auto-playing down there? God, I cannot wait till they turn that autoplay shit off.
Which autoplay shit?
All of it.
All the
Agreed.
shit.
Twitch does a thing where
Oh, yeah, look at that.
it's
Skeleton comes right the fuck up out of that guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I guess I should give this show some more time. Huh. Interesting.
Oh, hey, look. Oh, look at Chuck making the Unleash Monster reference.
Yes.
Come on there, Chuck.
What? Everyone should whip them
One
out.
day, all our jokes will be in jokes,
That's what we're shooting.
and no one will ever know what the original one was.
It's okay.
Is there a tweet? Oh, look at there's a tweet.
Oh, there is.
Oh, there's a tweet.
Oh, there is.
Oh, what a tweet.
Did I say tweet?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I'm no.
Ah,
That's what happens when my thought process and my speaking process
Right.
smash into
Put
each
the
other.
brakes on that one.
Yeah. Put the kibosh on that shit. Kibosh. Kibosh. Kibosh Maru. That's right.
I think you're saying it wrong.
You're right, I am.
Put the hentai bosh on.
It's a no-win term.
I hacked that term so I could win it.
I had to plug it in like they do in movies, where it's got that little point, and then they get the final snap. Everything snaps into place.
Yeah.
Snap.
Snap. Snap. Snap.
All right, so we have to find out how we can oil this chair. so I don't crack Chuck up too much.
I keep forgetting to bring. I have silicone spray that I.
Here, I'll take care of it right now.
Do you have some silicone spray?
Use that.
It's in the toolbox of dildos.
Yes.
No, man. Just spray that lube right on me.
That stuff.
When I lean back, it squeaks. I don't know what else to say.
All right, sit again because I have really good hearing, and I'll tell where it is.
Sit again.
All right, so it's the bottom.
You almost did the Cena horns.
I mean, it's going to smell a little bad.
Oh, we getting high. Shut the door.
You don't know how bad that seat smells already.
Breathe it. Whoa.
Work it. It's probably going to squeak for a second, but work it.
Yeah, but just work it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, you got it.
Pretty sure that was probably good. What other part, where does that come together on?
You know, I think that's not supposed to move. Maybe.
Does yours not move?
Not like that. No. Or maybe would you
All right, no, don't make this weird.
Fucking idiots.
weird you mean?
I'm going to need you to turn the other way. Yeah, the other way to the wall. You can put your legs down.
No, don't spray my legs.
This is
No, I'm saying
Don't touch them.
so you can turn more.
fucking idiots.
Fuck you, Chuck.
All right, now,
Hey, now it won't lean back. Oh wait, it's already leaned back.
that's not all the joints that are on the spray.
Or not.
Yeah, mine doesn't do that at all.
You don't know what happened. You must weigh a lot less than me.
Well,
And
I'm
yours
also
is gray.
I also don't have mine on lean back mode.
That's what you do.
Now I do, but
Well, where's
on the left. If you push that down, it will stop leaning back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now do you feel like a firm
You
young
got
man?
some firmness.
I always feel like a firm young man. Or a firm old man. I'm not sure.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Enough of this foolishness.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's-
welcome to the BMFcast.
No, it's like,
Hey,
stop having
BMFcast.
fun. We got to make a podcast.
Oh.
Boo.
Sorry, I was.
Boo.
No, I supposed to.
All I want to do is have a little fun.
All right, going back to that American Gods gif.
All right.
Yeah.
American gifts.
American gifts. American gifts. American gifts.
I
And
like
the
the
American Males theme song, and I hate you.
I thought you liked the American males, Chuck.
I do.
So why don't you like their theme song?
Because it's bad.
No, it's great.
Just them saying American Males over and
I thought you would like that.
over. Doesn't
That
tell
seems
a
like
story.
your sort of thing.
No.
It does. It tells
No.
you they're American males, American males, American males, American males.
Ah,
We're here to read some sweet Batman.
buff is the stuff.
Batman. All right.
TurboGrafx 16, yo.
What?
TurboGrafx 16.
Oh shit!
What?
Ad
Play
right on
some
the back.
Bonk's Adventure
Yeah.
and
There.
other games that were on the TurboGrafx 16.
Some fighty punchy game that's on the
Ooh, fighty
this guy's
punchy game.
face.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. All right.
Where's Robin? Wait, for that
your
matter,
butt.
where's Batman?
Mm.
Okay, there's a Batman.
Batman.
There's not enough Batman in this Batman comic.
Batman.
Hey, there's Kratos coming in with the negativity. I like it. We got to talk about how he entered the room. This sucks.
Again?
That sucks.
It's with his penis.
All sucks.
Yeah, dick first.
Dick first. It
Yeah.
all sucks. That's why you go in.
Dick first.
all sucks.
Dick first. War crime. Willie Pete.
Yeah.
Right. Willie.
Oh, it's gonna make House Party look like House Party 2. Oh shit. Or House Party 3. Shut the fuck up, white boy. All right, let's start this thing. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Where's my window? Where's my window? Come to my windows.
Mm-hmm.
Starting go. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 379.
Yep.
Wow.
That tracks.
Gosh dang.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Good job, Robot Jocks.
However, there are bad movies as in stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags. That's in douchebags after bags of douche.
Oof.
Gross.
Ugh.
Squish.
Yeah, so we have no reason other than it's new-ish, and we decided this was a movie that might be in our wheelhouse.
Seemed like it would be. Ha.
So we watched this year's 2017's Monster Trucks.
Monster trucks.
Monster.
Monster trucks.
Yeah. Which I think was not what any of us expected it to be.
It sure isn't, because would you like to know what the plot is about as I
Yes.
read a little plot summary?
Yes, I would.
A young man working at a small-town junkyard discovers and befriends a creature which feeds on oil being sought by a fracking company. Is that not how you're supposed to read that?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Oh, okay.
It's a fracking company.
Yeah, it's a fracking company.
Fracking company.
Fracking companies.
Frack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fracking.
Yeah,
I think poster-wise alone, I think we all kind of thought this was going to be...
It's the best poster of 2017, by the way.
I mean,
The hand-drawn one.
Yeah, I
is.
think we... I just think we thought this was something in the vein of, like, Eight-Legged Freaks, or that people would be battling said monster trucks or something.
I
maybe?
knew it was pretty much a kid's movie.
Oh, okay.
Because
Except
I
for
had
him.
seen the trailer at some point.
I
did not.
still thought it was going to go in a different direction. I thought it was going to come down to a race.
Okay.
I figured there would be local toughs and they would have to race.
Well, let's just say we had some preconceived notions about this movie.
We did.
And
Most were wrong.
most of them were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first off, because this movie just kind of drops you in, it gives you a title card, but, like, immediately it's a, hey, it's that guy. Hey, it's that person.
Constantly. Like the
A
first 10
cavalcade
minutes
of...
is just...
This movie feels like a lot of favors were called in by the casting department or something. Because, I mean, the main guy is Lucas Till, who most people know him from the X-Men 1960s, 70s, 80s, the original movies, or the old
First class.
whatever.
Days
Yeah,
Fast,
he's Havoc in those.
Yeah.
Jane Levy, who some people know from the Evil Dead remake, but also Suburbia and lots of other things.
Suburgatory.
Or Suburgatory, yeah, that's right. Sorry. And like
yeah.
Amy Ryan's his mom.
She's in it for like a minute total.
Yeah.
Like she just
But
like
she
is like,
shows up.
hey, bye, and then like is
Yeah.
waving towards the end of the
And
movie, but like
Barry Pepper's his stepdad.
yeah,
Rob Lowe's the head of the fracking company.
Yep.
his top
Being
scientist,
Rob Lowe.
his top scientist is Thomas Lennon, who was like the first person we saw. And we were like,
Yeah.
hey, it's him. And
The
then-
guy who's there when the accident happens is Frank Whaley.
yeah, like he came on screen. I was like, is that Frank Whaley? No, it can't be, because why would he just be a random oil company dude? And he turns out to be slightly more than that, as we'll get to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
like he was just there, and I was like, that's just a guy that looks like him. And then they gave him more screen time. I was like, no, that's him.
That's totally him.
And
Danny
the-
Glover's in this
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really like
I just mean it's like
like one of those where it just people keep showing up and you're like, wait, what?
yeah, just in the very beginning, it was just like, wait, okay, all right, this person, like,
Yeah, it does stop. Like, there's never,
Yes.
after the first 10 minutes, there's never like, oh, this person's here now. No,
No,
that
no.
stops completely.
No,
but-
they pretty much show you everybody, but I mean, in the first couple of minutes, you're just like, okay, like we're 10 people down, and I'm still naming other things they were in,
Right. Yeah.
Anywho, but
No.
Yeah, so
But-
it starts with fracking. The evil frackers are fracking. And they're, it's the standard, like, we've hit an area that could have life in it. We might need to study the situation and see what's happening here. And evil Rob Lowe is like, nah.
It's interesting they're not like, oh, we're really concerned about the water quality in this area and possibly like poisoning millions of people. It's like, no, there might be an organism in this water.
Yep. And Rob Lowe's just like, dig anyway. So the guy pushes the joystick to move the drill, and they hit a pocket of like luminescent, sparky things.
Yeah, because there's a camera at the end of the drill.
Yeah. And so they're like, see, nothing down there. And then this big blob with an eye scoots right past the camera. And they're like, whoa. And then shit gets real. Like, the just things start exploding, like water pipes start coming off and hoses are water wiggling all over the place, and then that oil refinery fucking explodes. Like
Well,
it
bye.
it explodes.
Oil. Well, bye.
Yeah, it's gone, and like these three things just shoot out. You don't really get a good look at them, but you can tell it's something, and they just shoot out and scurry behind stuff.
No.
And Frank Whaley kind of sees something, but doesn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, it hides in one of the trucks that gets
Yeah.
smashed by some rigging equipment that lands on it.
And then it's kind of the next day, and they're putting out all the fires and whatnot, and evil security people have shown up.
Yeah, which
And
is
they're basically already on it. They're like, all right, we got these fucking things, put them in tanks.
Yeah, and that guy that's leading them as he was like the mechanic in Fight Club. He was in Alien 3. He's like one of those, like, when you need a tough, you hire this guy.
Yep. He is a suitable corporate tough.
Yep.
But he's just, but they've captured two of whatever these things are, and the hunt is on for the third one. So.
Yep. Cut to Lucas Till, who just immediately is like one of those people who's like, I hate this town. I hate everything. I want to leave. But the very first shot of him is like he's on a school bus coming home from high school, and it's like, why is this 30-year-old dude around all these 12-year-olds?
Yeah. Because like his friends who are well, not friends, but they're like 15 years old in giant truck drive by, the school bus he's on, and then just, he's just like, yeah, I'm poor.
I mean, he's not that old, but I mean, it's like, look, comparatively speaking to all the other kids, he's like, looks way old.
Yeah, he's almost too old for this role. Like right away I was like, I don't know about this. Like this guy seems way too mature for this particular role.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it just because like he was carved out of some piece of stone, and these are all like normal kids, so he just looks ridiculous.
yes, he's a handsome movie star. Everyone else is from North Dakota.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, he gets home. That's when we see Amy Ryan for about 3 seconds, and then his stepdad, Barry Pepper, comes home, and he's just like, "Hey, this place it sucks. I'm going to my job." And he was harangued a little bit at school by Jane Levy, who we see her for the first time, and she's like, "I thought you missed our tutoring lesson, and I'm your lab partner." And just I don't know. It's hot. It's hot nerdy girl. It's like, look, she's nerdy, so
Yeah,
Her hair. She's not even wearing glasses. She just has her hair pulled back.
exactly.
It's like, oh, she's a nerd. It's like, come the fuck on.
yeah, she's like aggressive, nerdy girl.
Yeah. But they were walking to school, and there's a commotion at the local Dodge dealership, which, by the way, get used to the fucking Dodge dealership and Dodge as a brand, because it's all throughout this movie.
All the Chrysler products are in this movie.
This product placement really took me out of the monster trucks experience.
Yeah. But, no, is that after the first scene at the junkyard? Doesn't he... There's a hole in his truck first.
Yeah,
the first night.
Yeah, he sees something the first night in there, and then... Yeah, the next, and it's a hole drilled like almost straight through the side of the truck by the gas tank.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of shots of people looking through the jagged metal that's
it's
run
just
through.
A bunch of new trucks at this place have just been decimated by something.
And and you see it's all the same stuff.
Yeah,
and apparently his buddy, this redheaded dude, his dad owns the dealership, but because he's buddy, and apparently he's all about Lucas Till. Like this guy's like, hey, we're gonna hang out soon, right? And he's like, yeah, whatever, man.
Well,
because he's always
he is too cool for literally everything.
Well, his name Trip is the name. He's always presented as like above everyone else. Like his attitude at least is, I don't have time for any of you.
But not in
ever.
Not really in a snotty way, just kind of in an aloof way. Just like, I just need to get out of here. Like, not like I'm better than any of you, but he's just like. He's just biding his time until he can finally get the fuck out. It just feels like he's doing like a
James Dean thing.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, he's not snotty rich.
Yeah,
kid.
he's not a dick to anyone.
No.
He's just kind of like
whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, of course, he's got to have like rich kid antagonist guy. But it's like everyone else seems like, oh, you're the coolest.
Yeah,
like if I could just be like you or with you.
He's like the unknowing cool kid. Yeah. Like no one knows that. Like he doesn't know that other people think he's cool. He's just like, yeah, whatever. He's not. It's not getting to him in any way, shape, or form. He's just, I got to get out of this town. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But But yeah, then it's like the next night at the junkyard, and there's a crazy commotion.
Well, the junkyard ran by Danny Glover in a wheelchair in this
Yep.
movie.
Yes.
But again, don't expect to see too much Danny Glover. He
No.
just kind of pops in and
He's
out.
just there for seasoning.
Yeah.
Just
Just
add some
another,
star
like, hey,
power.
that guy.
Yeah. And so there's like a commotion there, and he goes to investigate, and he kind of throws a wrench at a stack of barrels, and this thing kind of explodes out towards him. We don't see it still.
Yeah.
And he goes and runs and hides in the shack, the barn.
Yeah, there's like doors opening up underneath, you
Yeah.
know, for like doing oil
Yeah,
changes.
the
and stuff.
service bay. It's
Yeah.
got like doors you can close up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he dives in and slams the doors shut.
And one of the barrels
However,
that
one of the
flew
barrels
out-
had landed in there. And so
yeah, and while he's down there with the doors shut, you can tell something has come in and is like on the doors, and it's pressing down. It's obviously something very heavy. And then behind him, all these tentacles start coming down, and he just starts freaking out.
Oh, it's about to get anime up in here.
Yeah, and this thing just gets goopy
Yeah.
through the cracks and falls into the repair bay.
Yeah.
And
He
he's-
explodes out of it,
Yeah.
and
because he was trying to get out while it was sort of still on top
Yeah.
of it, and then when it finishes oozing all the way through, he just like
yeah.
yeah.
And then he gets out and kind of blocks it with a crowbar and runs off and he calls the sheriff.
yeah, he calls his stepdad sheriff.
Yeah. And they're on it, man. They're like, we're got it's a bear, it's a coyote, I don't know what it is, but we're gonna fucking get it. And he's like, it's in there.
Well, it's Andy and his two dumbass deputies. One of them's got like a critter net, thing. Like I don't know what you call that, but
Yeah, it's the little loop you'd use to catch a dog
Yeah.
or whatever. But
He's like, you're gonna need 12 of those. But yeah, of course they open the thing and there's nothing in there, and they're like, you son of a bitch, this is the last
and
time.
Barry Pepper's pissed.
Yeah, he's like, never again. Never again will I believe you, you lying motherfucker. This was it.
Yeah.
And as the audience, we're kind of like, really? That was it? Like, he does this all the time? I don't think that's true. I think you just don't like him for whatever reason. But
He's like, no more pranks.
yeah. So they leave.
Trip.
Yeah, trip. But,
Yeah, then the next day at school, he's just,
oh, he's getting tutored.
yeah.
Well-
but the girl's tutoring him.
Well, no, he met the creature first. Like,
Okay.
all right, so like they left, and then like, did he?
The next night, he sets up a trap.
Yeah, he sets up a trap. He's like, he
Right.
he realizes all the oil is gone from
Yes.
the barrel that was inside the repair bay, and he's like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Did it eat the oil?
Yeah.
So like he sets up this trap with the oil barrels inside the car press
Mm-hmm.
thing, and he's just like, come on out here, I'm going to crush you. And so the thing comes, wobbling out. It starts just like, I mean, this thing just immediately, like, the first time you see it, they make a reference at some point in the movie about, I think Thomas Lennis says something like, well, we may have just found basically the Loch Ness Monster, and it may be real, and yeah, this thing is like
It's
part squid, part like
Yeah, it's like
Triassic water dinosaur
yeah,
thing.
it's got like the invertebrate body
Yeah.
of an octopus, but the head is almost kind of like the dragon in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Where it's got the big cute eyes and kind of the rounded head and lots of teeth.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Gaping maw
Yeah.
of teeth, yeah.
Wide and DreamWorksy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, it grabs a barrel and just, like, Chase lounges in this thing and just is like, glub, 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 I'm going to drink
Yeah.
this barrel
Yeah.
here. And he and at that point, he's like, oh, maybe this thing isn't aggressive, and
Yeah.
goes to, like, hey,
Well, he of course drops the
control.
Well, no,
control,
because like he was walking up to it, and the thing kind of like shot
Yeah.
a tentacle out of it, and that's when he was like and dropped the control thing, which started broke it, and
yeah,
the press
broke
started
and the
coming
press
down.
started going
Yeah.
down. And the thing was like completely oblivious to the fact that it's about to get crushed.
It had no idea because it's drunk on oil.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabs one of the tentacles and just starts trying to pull it out of this press, and the thing's just like, nah, dude, I'm all right.
I don't want to go. Oil
But
party.
yeah, eventually it gets out, and
And it's holding him.
yeah,
Like it's wrapped around him.
Yeah.
He's like, I saved you.
Well,
Don't
because it thinks he's being aggressive, and then it notices the flat oil can and is like, oh, that would have been me.
Yeah.
Okay, and
All right.
then
You're
it's
cool.
kind of just like, thanks.
yeah,
Yeah, and then it lays down, and he decides that the way that he's going to be friendly to this thing is to actually feed it oil.
Yep.
As in lifting up a can and just pouring it into its mouth. And this thing is just in this most gluttonous position where it's like laying on its back and it's got its mouth open. It's like, yeah, give it to me.
To which, when he's done, it just kind of flops over, just like, yes, this is the best thing ever.
And he they're one of the trucks that was smashed from the fracking place. I forget the name of them now, but he throws like a tin.
Tennyson? Is that
Terror drone.
Tennyson was a guy.
No,
It's Terra something. TERRA. Terra.
Terrafrac. I don't know.
It's something.
Yeah, this fracking company.
Yeah.
But he throws a can at their truck, and then the monster just grabs something and throws it at it, and then they just start laughing and throwing shit at this truck.
Yes, they are bonding. So.
And what does he do? Just kind of be like, all right, stay hidden? Because he goes to school the next day, and that's when he's sitting with Jane Levy, and it's just like...
Well, it goes into the truck and hides, doesn't it? No,
because
kinda...
he saw in the trailer first. That was
Yeah.
the first go-round of this, like, starting to build towards the actual monster truck. But I thought he goes to school the next day, and it's just like, hey...
No, he doesn't, because he gets interrupted by all the dudes
Is that what it is?
with their guns and stuff, because they had gone to the police the night before.
That's right.
Or
Yeah.
earlier, and said, hey, got something weird going on. You guys seen anything? And, and then the deputies were like, oh, well, it was this, just some prank call from a kid. And they're like, oh, yeah? Where'd it come from? And Barry Pepper's like, that was just a prank call. It doesn't matter. And they get into this whole back and forth where...
It's like, if it doesn't matter, why are you so upset? It's just,
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
I think the school scene was before he actually called the thing out into the press.
Yes.
Because he's like talking to the girls, like, do you believe like there could be some sort of sea monster that lives on land? Because she's like...
Well, he asked her how
Oh,
many
yeah,
how many new species get discovered. And she's like, thousands every year.
She's like, I watch Nat Geo. And
Yeah, she's still in science
You watch
dork
Nat Geo
mode.
too?
yeah.
And she is like obviously in love with this
Oh,
dude.
yes.
Yeah. She's
From
like,
the get-go.
I've got it on my DVR. You want to come over and watch it?
Nat Geo and chill.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, that's right. I guess because he was
Yeah.
still going off the premise of I saw it in the thing in the
Yeah.
bay and it disappeared.
Yeah.
So all that's right. All this happens, and then
Yeah,
he's
and then-
he's like, I'm going to take it to the cops, and I'm going to show stepdad sheriff that I wasn't lying, because he throws the thing on a flatbed truck.
Yeah, he forklifts it onto a flatbed.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, you're coming with me. The sheriff's going to believe me.
And he goes to like latch up the trailer to
Yeah.
his truck or
But
whatever.
the thing sees the junkyard dog, who's just like sitting there staring at it, and he just starts.
Huck.
The dog's name is Huck.
I think it's Huck.
Okay. Well, the monster just starts crawling, scooting this flatbed trailer to go see the dog, like for whatever reason. And the
It
dog's
likes
like,
animals.
yeah, and the dog's like, oh hell no. But this thing is just scooting through the junkyard on this cart, and right away you realize what this movie is going to be, and you're like, this is cute. This is a cute thing. This dumb thing that we're looking at is just a cute dumb thing that likes other animals.
It's a smart design, because they just make it this. They make it like a puppy that won't listen to you,
Yeah.
and but it's a big puppy and you can't control it.
Yep.
And
It's like Clifford.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, and
so it's doing that, and that's when the trucks show up from the company, and intimidating guy from Alien 3 is like, so you see anything weird around here? He's like, well, there was a coyote or something, maybe.
When they showed up, it had already gone into his truck.
that's where it went to
That's
hide.
where it went to hide,
He didn't
yeah.
know that yet,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because when he backs up into the garage,
Yeah.
the truck starts moving, and he's like, ah.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, because
so-
he basically had this, because he even though he works in a junkyard surrounded by vehicles, he's handy with stuff. Apparently, he's never found the complete parts to make a vehicle, and thus get the hell out of whatever town. So he's got this like conjoined truck thing out of all these parts.
That is also a Dodge, by the way.
Yeah.
He's gonna put the Hemi in that was
Right.
in the wrecked truck
Yeah,
from
like the one part that still works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was like the last part. I'm going to put my truck together.
but under the hood was completely empty. There was just nothing but space in there, and
Right.
so the creature went in there and escaped. Yeah, and
So yeah, the evil dude and everybody henchmen are like looking around the place. They just basically barge in. He's like, "You're not allowed to search here," and they do anyway. And he's doing the the standard movie thing of thing is hiding, and he's trying to like, no, don't look. I think it's over there, and
yeah,
eventually he's just
You've
like,
seen
I'm gonna
this.
push my truck to the other side of the junkyard.
yeah, because the thing just starts rolling the truck on its own.
And this is when the girl shows up,
yeah.
and she's like, I brought flashcards, and he's like, get out of here.
She's like, but it's dark and it's kind of scary, and
Why don't you drive me home?
Yeah, don't make me walk home. It was scary walking all the way here.
and we should probably also note that like these creatures like. Before we saw them, even when like they had ones captured back at the fracking place, like they were basically like making these like cooing Wookiee noises, and so it's like part growling, part whale noises, almost thing. So
It's very emotive.
So like when Jane Levy shows up and is like, "Hey, can you drive me home? I'm scared. You know, like I want to hang out with you." And he's like, "Oh, this truck doesn't run," and so the thing just starts. And she's like,
Really?
"It's moving and
It's making engine
making noises."
Yeah. And eventually he just shoves her in the truck. It's just like, okay, we got to go.
Yeah, because they're coming that way, and he's
Yeah.
like, just get in the truck.
Yeah. And then,
And she's like, okay, so now you're taking me home? What?
yeah. And she just.
And she
like-
gets really excited
Oh,
about
yeah,
that. She's
she's-
like, "Oh,
yeah,
whoo,
she's stoked.
he is manhandling me." Ooh.
Yeah, but this thing doesn't know how to drive well yet.
No.
And they don't have a system devised really to give it commands. So
It's kind of latched itself to the tires and is just pushing the tires to go.
And I think eventually it figures out it can wrap its tentacles around the axles.
well, he figures that out. 'cause
Yeah.
Well, he figures out that he's
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
But I think the monster by itself figures out that
Yeah.
it can wrap its tentacles around, and it has little. I don't know if cilia
Cilia.
is the actual correct term,
Cilia.
but and actuate the axles with its tentacles.
Yeah.
So it takes off into
Hauls
the
ass.
forest.
And the
Yeah, she's
dude's-
like, turn right here at the end, and he just goes straight like into the field. And she's like, well, like, I guess this is a shortcut because this is my dad's field or whatever. So just right over here.
Yeah. And man, the creature just kind of keeps popping up from under the hood and is just like stoked. This is just the best for this thing. It's
Yeah.
just
Now,
like,
granted, she still hasn't seen this thing,
No.
and he hasn't like
No.
said, "Hey, there's a monster under my
Yeah,
truck."
and the hood popped up so they couldn't see past the hood
Yeah.
from the inside the car.
yeah. But eventually they,
They stop.
They skid off and the dudes drive off, not seeing them
Mm-hmm.
literally right there.
And so he's like, "Hey, do you have a barn I can use?" And she's like, "Sure, yeah, my dad has a barn with all kinds of tools."
That he never uses.
Yeah. on in
well,
here.
well, she sees the thing once they've stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's right. He's like, "Come on, here, look, you're in the truck." Mm-hmm. And yeah, she's like, "Right, we got to hide this thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She adjusts well to the monster in the truck.
Well,
She's just like, oh,
She's a scientist.
All right.
She's into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they park it in her dad's barn, and there's a horse in there.
she's basically like, "Yeah, you can use all the tools you want. Just
Yeah.
leave my horse alone. Make sure he doesn't eat my horse or whatever."
But like, okay, so it's very ET like in this regard, to where it's like when it sees an animal, it's just like, I have to go to that thing. Please come here, other creature. So it tries to get to the horse, and he's just like, I got to figure out a way to make this thing not see all the time. And so he just starts A-Team montaging this.
Well, basically, like Iron Man. He has an Iron Man night, essentially. He's just like,
Yeah.
I've got this, and just, well, ding, ding, ding. And
Yeah. And at one point, like on TV, there's actual monster trucks, and the thing is watching it, just like,
Ooh, look at that! That looks
but
fun.
there's a point where the creature picks up a screwdriver and is watching him like undo stuff, and that's when it spins it around with the cilia, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, idea! Like if I build a thing that you wrap your tentacles around, you can."
because he
spin
builds it
this."
and then grabs the thing's tentacle
Yeah,
and
and
puts it
wraps
on
it
there and like
And-
manipulates
'cause
it to
yeah,
go.
and it's jacked up. So
Yeah.
like he's like, "Look, when you do your thing on your tentacle, like look, the wheels go there." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this thing's smart. You know,
Yes.
it's picking this up.
It is.
But then he builds basically a blinder cage
Mm-hmm.
so that when he steps on the accelerator, it opens up. You know, the amount that this thing can see out the front of it.
Well, stopping on the accelerator is basically just kicking the thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, he
No,
actually
yeah.
actually makes a thing
Yeah,
to
how-
connect to the accelerator.
true. Okay.
Yeah, like it actually opens up the blinds, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, I can see out. Let's go."
Go! Well, I gotta go fast.
And yeah, he does all this in like one night, and she
He's like Sonic
Yeah.
the Hedge Blob.
I just like that she comes out in the morning and she's like, so you guys still here, huh?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, check this out. I figured out he's got cilia, and he can the torque that they can produce is unbelievable. And she's like, wait, cilia? She gives him this look like, hey, you actually paid attention to something.
Well,
for
doesn't
once.
she say,
But
"You're
then-
not dumb"?
You're
Well,
not
yeah,
dumb.
because he gets into like, all right, well, it'll create this much torque and
Yeah.
that, and with the differential on the, and he gets into all these,
But when he
all
says
this stuff, and she just goes, huh, you're not dumb.
but
to
when
which he goes, "Huh?" And she's like, "Nothing."
Yeah, never mind.
when he says, like, he starts describing the cilia thing, she just goes, oh. Just like this reaction of just like, oh my dear God,
I thought
You're cool
he
and you're
was
not
hot
an
before.
idiot.
marry me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they leave the barn.
Well, he's like, check this out, and he's showing her the blinder thing, and the truck goes out, and then he gets in it, and then she's like, all right, well, here, let's race, and so she takes off on her horse.
Right. And they just have a good time
Yeah.
racing around.
A little racing montage.
Set to kind of garbage music.
Yeah, generic pop.
There's a lot of
whatever.
garbage
The,
music.
the soundtrack is bad. The soundtrack is probably
It's a
the weakest.
Nickelodeon movie.
I know, but the soundtrack is probably the weakest thing about it. It's very generic-y and kind of weird country pop in a way that's
Yeah.
doesn't.
Oh, so you mean
This
country?
this song especially is like really
Yeah.
that like 2000s country pop fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my truck and got
yes,
a monster.
It's not even that
Nope, nope,
twangy.
no
It's
Stargrove.
no, there's
Get
no
that out of the
Stargrove.
way.
no.
I'm just writing the Stargrove
Okay.
country
Right.
pop,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
i.e. country song
Yeah.
for this movie.
There
a monster built my hot rod.
there are scenes, and we pretty much sum them all up in one swath. But there's scenes with Rob Lowe and Thomas Lennon. Thomas Lennon, like, they have these other two creatures in individual tanks, and Thomas Lennon is trying to figure out like what they eat, and he eventually figures out they eat oil, but he gives some oil to one of them who only eats some of it, and then gives it to the other one. And Rob Lowe is just like, look, we got to kill these things, and we got to drill the oil because we're oil and evil and oil. And Thomas Lennon is just like, nah, I'm a scientist. These things are smart.
Yeah,
And
he's also like, watch this, because he's rigged up a Simon to a broom, and he's
where
like
the fuck
passing
did you get a Simon machine?
Whatever.
They still sell those.
Oh,
like,
okay.
brand new.
All right,
It's
then.
crazy.
but like he
that was an old one though.
Yeah, that was an old one.
Yeah.
he does the Simon version of the Close Encounters theme
As close as possible.
as close as possible with 4 notes and a Simon to one of them, and then he's like, great, yeah, rats can do that in a maze,
Yeah.
because he gives them oil afterwards, and he's like, watch this, and he hands it over to the other one, and without even like doing it first, the thing just goes, it's,
Bum, 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 bum.
like it's close, but and he's like, I didn't even teach this one to do that, by giving it oil. It's a hive mind.
Yeah. When they're in close proximity, they apparently share everything.
This is really like exposition science scene
Sure.
because it's going to come up later. But
Yeah, but like Rob Lowe's not having any of it. He's just like, look, you've lied in press conferences and falsified records and blah blah blah. You've got Stockholm syndrome. And Thomas Lennon's like, no, that's backwards. But
Yeah. There's a lot of good Thomas Lennon, like,
yes, little asides,
like
little,
fit it in under your breath
Yeah.
stuff.
but it's just this is all to establish Rob Lowe super evil, Thomas Lennon slightly turning away from the dark side to save the monsters.
Right.
So that's happening. Meanwhile, like the bad guys are still just scouring the town trying to find these guys. So that's the big remainder. That's the big remainder of the middle part of the movie is evil guys looking for our good guys.
Yeah, because I guess they just decide to head out in the truck because he has to get gas,
Yeah, they go to the gas station.
and he somehow
He doesn't. He hasn't put together that it eats pure oil, but he gives it gasoline, not thinking there's a difference between the two, which there totally
gas
is.
comes from oil, so
But-
you should have at least given him diesel.
also
he should
also
have paid attention in science class.
Yes.
it went through the gas tanks. I don't know if he was around for that though.
Yeah, he walked up because
Yeah.
they were talking about that. The cops were talking about it at the Dodge dealership with Redhead Kid.
Ah,
And he was
right,
like,
right,
yeah, it
'cause
was
he
like-
went to the- it went
damn-
through- ripped the
these-
gas
yeah,
tanks
these,
out.
These kids, why would they rip out just the gas tanks?
Yeah.
And I don't know why they thought kids could do this, but like it
You know,
looked like
kids.
it looked like a
Power
fucking
tools.
rail gun had gone through these trucks.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. But yeah, so they feed it gasoline, like $400 worth of gasoline.
Yeah.
300
And then he's arguing with Rich Kid in the fancy truck next to him. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, nice piece of shit. Looks like a shit took a shit, and there's your truck. Your shit truck.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like this guy's girlfriend in the passenger seat is like, "Why am I dating this douchebag?"
Yeah. And
Well,
she's all just like,
so
hey.
she keeps like sort of like, hey,
Yeah.
every time she sees him, Lucas
Yeah.
Hill. And then
Yeah, because everybody loves Trip.
Yeah, and she's like, nice truck, and that's when he starts to like, nice truck.
Yeah.
Looks like I took a dump on your dump.
Yep.
From the dump, dumpy dump.
Yeah, and then he revs his engine a little bit, and then Trip just gets in the truck, and and Creech, as he's named it, the monster's like, all right, fucker,
Yeah.
and just burns out, and takes out.
Well,
out of
all the
there.
while like growling,
Yeah.
essentially this guttural growl.
Yes. But it's like drunk driving. Like this thing is all over the road and they're like, what is wrong with him? And then they're like,
Cocaine.
gasoline.
Yeah.
Not oil. Has other chemicals in it. Oh shit. And then this thing just proceeds to just drive all over the place. And
my favorite being that it takes out this like soccer mom in a 300 Mercedes who just like
well, she starts going in and does the wave like as she's doing
right,
it.
exactly. That's what I mean. That's why I fucking love it because it's just like
Yeah,
it's the like I'm coming over
destroys
and then like oh no turn signals, just my hand,
Yeah.
and then just like down the side of that car. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. But then it like veers off into the Dodge dealership while they're it's
It's a used car dealership
okay.
that he goes into.
But yeah, because like the slicky salesman's guy, like I'm gonna watch me rip off the old couple from Up here,
Yeah.
Watch as I mark these prices up.
and then okay, Monster Trucks, the title suddenly enters the movie because
They
you just-
fucking monster truck these things.
it's like the scene in Roadhouse. It's just this truck just rolling over these cars, and the dealer's just like, no.
and he's just bouncing over.
Yeah.
I mean, he's destroying them.
Yeah,
And turns before it crushes the old couple.
yeah, and they crash into like a paint truck, which we are almost certain said Lemon Party on it for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either Lemon Paints or Lemon Party.
I'm gonna
but
go
the
with-
guy had mentioned selling a lemon to the old guy.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
may have been a sneaky
But it
Lemon
was-
Party joke.
But it was full of paint.
I'm going to go
It
with Lemon
was.
Party because that guy was a dick and he's about to take it out on these old people. And
Right.
you can't have a lemon party without old dick.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, a lot of felonies have just happened,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
no one's
That's
ever
one
held
thing about this
accountable.
movie. Yeah. He's stolen $400 worth of gas.
No, he used her credit card.
Dude, it's fucking North Dakota. If you just make it through the day without blowing your brains out, everyone's cool.
Yeah, that's
fucking North Dakota.
That's
dude.
an excellent point.
You could end up in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
You never know, man.
I've never been to North Dakota. I just assume it's a barren
Nobody else
wasteland.
has either. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
It's a beautiful country.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If it exists.
But
It exists.
yeah, I think it's real. Tripp has seen his dad on television.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was giving a eyewitness account to the oil refinery blowing up, and he's like, "Oh, that's my dad. I guess he's in town."
Mm-hmm.
So they go to see him at
Yeah.
this just trailer park where all the oil workers work,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, "Hey, Dad, it's me, Tripp." And he's
Trailer
like,
park is too kind. I mean, someone described it as like the FEMA area because
Yeah.
like trailer park implies they've been there a while, they have some semblance of yard and stuff. This is just
"This is a parking lot."
this is a parking lot with a bunch of RVs parked on it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he's just like, "Hey, it's me, Tripp." And he's like, "Oh, look at you. You're grown and
Yeah,
stuff." And
your trip.
hey, you got a truck and you got a girl. That's cool. Come back to my trailer. We'll have some wings. So, they just go in and it's just talk for a few minutes. And Frank Whaley's like, I left something on the bus. I'll be right back. Goes outside. And then it's just, hey, I turned you into the bad guys.
Yeah. Because it's established, everyone but Thomas Lennon in this company is
Pure
just
evil.
Pure
Scumbags.
evil.
Yes.
They're infected with some scumfuckery that makes them just do the worst thing.
It's the space oil. It gets in them and they just become pure evil.
Must be. Fracking is dangerous, kids.
Yeah.
It'll turn you into a monster.
But so, they're like, hey, where's the thing? And then, the truck just starts revving and spinning around. And
Yeah, because they're threatening
Yeah.
Tripp.
Yeah. And it's not having that.
No.
So they eventually get back into the truck. The truck is just going for it. And the truck just drives through Frank Whaley's house.
Yeah. Fuck that guy, man. Fuck him and his wings.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
They get away from there.
The toaster does pop.
It
It's just after through the rubble. Toaster
Yeah.
suddenly pops at the
It
end.
scares him. Ding. And he's like, That's it for him.
Yeah, that's the last we see of Frank Whaley.
No reconciliation for those two characters.
No.
Fuck you, Frank Whaley.
Well, they fucked his house up. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It wasn't much of a house.
I mean, they sort of resolved that storyline with the next
Yeah.
scene because like they escape from here and she's like, my dad, who apparently is really rich and we never see him, has a cabin out somewhere. Yeah.
you were skimming over like a 20-minute chase scene though.
Yeah.
Wait,
Through
which
the
part?
Yeah,
entire
because Barry Pepper has shown up here too,
Yeah.
and they all go off in
I thought-
pursuit.
That's the next day.
No.
Because that was during the middle of the day.
No, because
No.
when they get to the cabin, the next day is when the thing is gone, and there's
Yeah. There's a whole sequence
well,
where
no,
they
I'm
go
just saying,
through
like-
the town being chased.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how did it become night to day like that quickly? Because
It's all happening during the day.
Yeah.
I thought that
They were getting off in the morning.
were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the next morning
It was
when they
pitch
were get-
fucking black. You're laughing like it doesn't make any sense, but it was pitch black when like they were at Frank Whaley's place.
because
No,
like
no, because
because Barry Pepper has driven up like what's going on here, and then all the trucks speed off to go get Trip,
Okay.
and that's what leads to, because like when they get to the cabin, they have a
Yeah,
night,
all right.
and then the next day the thing is gone.
Okay,
and,
yeah. All right. No, I thought there must have been that came before because, like I said, I thought it was dark and suddenly it was.
No, it's
middle
well.
of
I mean,
the
it
day.
could just be a huge chunk of movie is also missing because that's according to rumor, a lot of this movie got
Okay.
recut and everything. But yeah, this leads to this chase through whatever small town this actually is, like the main street area of this, which is basically like 3 city blocks that they just keep going around
Oh, yeah.
corners of. There's not a lot to this city, but they make the most of alleyways and such because it's a constant like, okay, take sharp corner, go down alley. You know, now we're either trapped or there's a truck in the way or dumpsters or something. At one point, Creech has Barry Pepper's coming in after them, and
Well, I want to point out that like Barry Pepper has been studying the footage because we skipped another scene because there was a scene where they escape. God damn it! Now I'm trying to figure out when the fuck this happened because there are multiple car chases throughout this movie, and there was a point where Barry Pepper is sitting in a car wash.
That's
What?
after.
That's after this.
because this town chase
He's
ends
watching
with him
footage of them
jumping
jumping.
the train.
The train.
Yeah, that
That's when
car
they go-
wash is later.
Okay, but that started a whole other car chase. So, all right, never mind. Go ahead.
Well, so like they're just going through this town, and like Barry Pepper's there, and Creech has gotten the truck above the alleyway and is just kind of crawling along.
Yeah.
And
Because Barry Pepper apparently doesn't have the ability to raise his gaze above the horizon.
no, he's just looking straight ahead.
Well, he's like a
Where's
dog.
this thing? Yeah. And so she's like, "Did you teach him to do this?" And he's like, "Yep." And then she's like, "Really?" And he's like, "I don't know where he learned to do this."
It's the timing of it is so good. Like,
is.
The
It's-
delivery of all of it is really good.
It's well timed, but so eventually, like the main bad guy is chasing him down an alley, and that's when the thing just crawls up, like climbs up the wall,
wall.
and to which the bad guy's looking up at it and just makes a face like, "The fuck, the hell." And this leads to Creech and company just driving across rooftops. Cleverly, like avoiding damaging like sky roofs and
Oh, yeah.
little obstacles on the roof and everything.
Creech cares about property as long as it's not vehicular property.
Yes. Yeah.
If it's a vehicle, it can fuck off.
Right.
But if it's a building, he's very gentle with
Yeah.
it.
But so he's just, going across the roofs and everything, and they hear the train, and he's like, okay, if we can get to the train, that's
that train is 5 miles long.
Yeah.
It's a missile the size of a Chrysler building.
So that'll give us a 10-minute, head start or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So they eventually come down off the roof by kind of bouncing off this garbage truck, to which the driver of the garbage truck's like, what the fuck? And yeah, this just leads to, okay, let's all go full speed towards this train, to which it, one of the flatbed cars, gets to the right spot, and Creech jumps over that, and they all just, pull up and just like, fuck, train.
Yeah, and they land and start doing donuts and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're
on the
just
other
like,
side, 'cause
"Woo!"
they're like, yeah, fuck all y'all.
It's like, wait a minute, maybe you should. I was kind of hoping that they would still be doing that when the train stopped, and then just be like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
because they were wasting a lot
10
of time.
minutes worth of donuts.
Could have attracted more cops that way.
Yeah. But yeah, so they finally speed off, and then Barry Pepper and main bad guy just get into this shouting match of just,
Yeah.
where
the bad guy's basically like, we own this town.
yeah, when's the next election?
Yeah.
You better watch your back. And
Yeah, go write some more tickets.
yeah.
Chump. And Barry Pepper doesn't really argue it. He's just like,
He's just like, yeah, but
yeah.
But they do argue. I will say air quotes uncomfortably close to the train.
they're super close to this fake
Like,
CG train
big
that they're
fake
standing
CG
in front of.
train.
I'm just saying. I understand it's a CG train, but there's no reason to be arguing that. Number one, you wouldn't hear anybody that close to
Oh,
a
yeah.
train going that fast. It's really fucking loud.
Yeah.
And two, if you saw Final Destination, you don't want to be that close to a train.
No, you do not.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, so they speed off, and
Yeah,
that's
and that's
when
when
they
they
go
go
to
to her dad's cabin.
the cabin. Yeah, and there's like, we can camp here, and she's like, we can't give him the oil because that's for the generator, and he's like, yeah, but I promised him the oil, so they end
He
up
deserves it.
they end up sleeping outside.
Yeah. And she says, sorry about your dad. He's like, nah,
Yeah, and then this is where the justification, where they sort of wrap that up, because she's like, well, you wouldn't be you if he hadn't done what he'd done, and you wouldn't be awesome.
You wouldn't be cool trip guy if he hadn't impregnated your mother.
Or abandoned you and like made you love whatever.
Yeah. All the things, all the evil shit your dad has done to you over the years is why you're so cool now. So thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Shithead dad.
Tell me, Trip, was it worth it?
Yes. And she's just like, all right, night, going to sleep. And
he goes in the truck and just breaks down.
yeah. To which,
Because he's been really cool, but he doesn't really respond to her when she's like, yeah, well,
yeah.
sorry about your dad, all that. He just kind of is like, and then goes in the truck and has a good cry.
My dad didn't love me.
But man, this tentacle just comes up,
Yeah.
goes behind him, and just plops down on his shoulder, and he's just like, ah. To which it's just like,
Yeah, and he's like, I was having a moment here, man. Just leave me alone.
Creech thought he had a shot.
Yeah. But then Creech kind of rolls down to the lake.
He's like, I need some sweet freedom,
Yeah.
yo.
And
Let me slip out of this truck and into the lake for a little bit of skinny dipping.
Yeah. And it just, it escapes into the lake and swims around and lights up and comes back to the pier at one point while, Trip is talking to it and, squirts water in his face. Ha ha.
yeah, and Trip's just basically like, I'm going to get you home.
Yeah. We'll get you there.
I love you, buddy, but
Yeah.
we'll get you there.
All right. You get back in that truck now.
Yep.
I'm going to sleep. And then they wake up the next day and it's just like,
And the truck's gone.
truck's gone.
Yeah, because the other ones had started like whale crying out in the middle of the night, like because Rob Lowe basically showed up one last time and be like, "Stop growing attached to these things. We're going to murder them."
That's
not
when they
tell
did
anybody." Yeah.
That's when they did the
Yeah,
Simon.
Simon thing.
portion.
Time to murder.
It's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna jam them back down in that hole.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
murder.
And then
them.
we're going to poison
Rather
the
than
water supply.
finding a priceless new intelligent creature.
Yeah, no.
It's apparently fracking is really lucrative.
I mean, hasn't Rob Lowe seen King Kong, man? Just put those things in tanks and take them somewhere.
Put it in chains.
That
wheel
also
it
doesn't
around.
work out, Chuck. I don't. Did you see the end of it?
I saw Ape.
I've heard the same thing happen.
That's right. Yes. But yeah. So Creech is gone, and he's like, I can't even call for help. My phone is in the car, and she's like, hold on, I got something that can help. And she just pulls out her phone and is like, okay, here's where your car.
Yeah, we can find your phone. And,
Now,
yeah.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
no.
Oh,
You're probably gonna say like, number one, no, absolutely not, and you can't hack into someone else's phone, except she's obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
she
And
probably
I think she probably put a little malware
Also-
on his
Yep.
phone.
also
before.
Windows Phone.
Windows
also
phone,
Windows Phone,
which
so
you can just go on the internet.
However,
he opened up Internet Explorer on the phone once, and he's fucked.
Right.
So.
But also, I mean, you can, like, I don't know that there's necessarily a specific app for it, but there are, like, Find My Phone apps where you can,
Sure.
like, put in your login information and find out where your phone is.
Perhaps.
Whatever. Suspend your disbelief for 9 seconds. It's a Windows phone.
There's
whatever.
also a Loch Ness Monster driving trucks around in this, so,
But the phone thing is the least believable to me.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Also, the fact that
I'm
everybody-
going to say the fact that he keeps continuing to shoot her down
Yeah.
is the least believable thing in this movie.
Yeah. There's
The most believable thing is that everybody drives a Chrysler product. That's the number
yeah.
one most.
I mean, there's
real.
cool guy detached from like I'm above all this, and then there's like, hey,
And then there's Jane Levy throwing herself at
Right.
you.
I mean, she let her hair down in the first 10 minutes. It's not
She
like
did.
there was some reveal an hour
No.
in to where she was like, yoink, and
Yeah.
I'm beautiful now.
She
It's
didn't.
like,
She didn't have the slow motion entrance or
no,
anything like that.
no. It's like when she came to the junkyard that first time, she was like, look at me, I'm hot. Let's go do something. So, yeah.
preferably each other.
Yes. Because when she gets thrown into the truck, she's like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah, she's real horned up. For
Yeah,
that.
we didn't even talk about like when they're doing that. When they're driving off, he's like, there's something weird going on. And she's like, oh, I feel it
feel
too.
it
He's like, no,
No,
it's
He's at least
it's a fucking octopus in the trunk.
Yeah, he understands enough to go, no, not that
Yeah.
idiot.
Is that what the kids are calling it?
Yeah, that's not a euphemism. There's actually an octopus
The old
in the trunk.
octopus in the
Oh.
truck, That's a North Dakota thing. You wouldn't understand. So it's
Never mind. I had to do the brain mouth filter thing. Even I won't make that joke.
There was a James Bond movie joke in there, wasn't
No,
there?
there wasn't.
okay.
The old Pierre octopus.
It was 8 in the...
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
See?
Nope.
See?
This is not anime.
Nope.
I told you I was going to stop it. You were like, what? What?
Good call.
So yeah, because she's a stalker, they have found that they can find the signal,
Right.
and I guess they get a cab there or something.
I don't know, but they get to the
Yeah.
facility basically. And,
Yeah, they take a taxi.
and they get right in.
It is
Oh,
the
yeah.
least secure, like, evil conglomerate corporation
There's not
headquarters ever.
one locked door in this place. Like
It must be a North Dakota thing.
I don't know, but
Well,
like
they were really close to Canada. They don't lock
Yeah.
their doors.
yeah, that's
Well,
true.
he did make a point when she's like, I something might happen if I walk home alone. He's like, look where we live.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Well,
to
he
you."
said, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
And
nothing's
she's
ever
like,
happened here.
excuse me, I'm hot.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I mean, nobody kidnaps anyone
it's
here.
North Dakota. Yeah. But yeah, no, so they walk right in and get right to the room with the tanks for these things.
Yeah.
Almost like there was like, please follow the yellow line to
Yeah.
the sea creatures that are being kept in captivity.
And they're like, "Oh, this
The
must
illegal
be
sea creature storage facility is down this hallway.
this must be where Creech is going." And just all of a sudden, man, the wall just starts just
Why didn't he use the door?
He's a puppy. He doesn't know anything. All he knows
He was
is
installing his own doggy door. on this
drive
facility.
fast and just explode through wall, which is what he does.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And but like immediately this sets off the wall alarm. None of the unlocked doors ever set off anything, but busting through the outer exterior wall is what sets off every security
that would
alarm.
be pretty alarming, but
How do you wire the wall?
I don't know.
We've lost structural integrity of the wall.
I don't know.
Seismographs, maybe?
Seismograph.
If they can't,
They are a
Seismograph.
fracking company.
Yeah.
They are a fracking company, so they
Fine.
probably do have earthquake
Seismographs.
sensors. That's probably about it. All they have.
Yeah, but all the evil dudes just run in and trank.
They
Cheech.
trank Creech.
Creech, not
Yeah.
Cheech.
Creech
God
and,
damn it.
Creech and Chong.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah, to which he's just whoa. Yeah, and they're like, scrape that thing up.
Yeah.
So
And
They
then,
scoop it up and put it in a similar containment vessel as the others.
yeah,
and
but-
then Rob Lowe. So they take him to Rob Lowe,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Let me see that phone."
yeah.
He's looking through. He's like, "Man, you really like your cat."
It's just all pictures of
It's
cats.
all cat pictures
This is-
in there.
This is where I miss flip phones. Because it should have been Rob Lowe picking up the phone, looking at it, and like looking at the pictures and going, snap! And just
Yeah.
hucking it across the room.
Yeah.
But instead, he gets the one where Tripp had taken a selfie with Creech.
Yeah.
And that was earlier in the movie during one of the montages. And he's like,
Wait, was that his phone? Mm-mm. Oh.
"No, it was her phone."
No, it wasn't a selfie. It was just a regular actual photo.
Yeah. But either way, he's like, "Delete."
Yeah.
Delete.
And
It's
all
like,
the evidence is gone. And they're like, you just can't delete that. And he's like, I already did. Haha, I win. Guards,
'cause-
take them away.
Yeah,
A
he's
Windows
like, "What are you
phone won't
gonna
connect
do?"
to the internet, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's
All
fine.
the photos were only right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, "What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna tell? Who's gonna believe you over me?"
Nobody. Just get
Yeah.
the fuck out. Security will escort you.
Yeah, he's like, "I don't want to hurt you. I pay guys like him to hurt people."
Yeah.
But
And this is the point where not Chris Parnell,
Thomas Lennon.
Thomas Lennon. Those guys are the same guy. They're stamped from the same material.
No.
Yes.
We'll get you some more
Not
Chris
even.
Parnell movies. And
I know. Okay. I know, but I always they play the same type of character.
No.
And they sound a whole lot alike to me. You guys
they
don't
both
agree.
have stubble.
You guys
Well,
don't agree.
I mean-
You're wrong.
I think we all have like 20 years experience with Thomas Lennon or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
However long ago the
seen
state
a million
was.
episodes of Reno 911. And
See, and I've seen zero.
Okay.
So,
well, there's your problem.
yeah, you should see Reno 911.
what hell? That just looked like the dumbest show on earth for the entirety
Yeah.
of the time it was
No,
on
that show's
Comedy
not.
Central.
But-
No,
anyhow,
Thomas Lennon's great. Lennon's great. Chris Parnell is pretty good.
Yes.
There's a difference.
great in Archer.
Parnell has not gotten the opportunities that Thomas
Yeah.
Lennon has gotten. But
Awesome
Thomas
in Hot
Lennon is
Rod
fucking-
as well.
Yes.
Chris Parnell is awesome in Hot Rod.
Yes, that's right.
AM radio is going to make a comeback.
Anyway, this is like the point where he turns.
Yeah, because security's
I mean, he's-
escorting the kids out.
He's kind of decided that he's done with this shit.
Yeah.
But security's escorting him out, and Thomas Lennon's like, no, I'll take it from here. I got orders from the boss. I got it. Goodbye, security guard. Nice to meet you. And he starts like he puts his hands on
He's, like, pushing
the
them
back of the
along.
kids and is like, all right, let's go. And Jane Levy's like, you get your hands off me, you slimy.
You
He's
get your
like,
slimy hands off me.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, I sweat a lot. It's a problem. I know. You didn't have to bring it up.
Yeah. I'm on your side here.
I'm on your
So
side.
good.
He has some of the best jokes
Yeah.
in this movie.
He has good comedic timing,
He does.
which
Yeah.
he showcased for years on Reno 911.
Reno 911. Never heard of it.
Yeah, but so he's like, all right, they're going to try and move him here, but we need to get a plan together, and that's, that's when Trip's like, well, how many trucks can we get a hold of? Because he tells them, oh, they got a hive mind, they'll understand if they're near each other, all that, and then he's like, all right, high five, guys, and he holds a hand up, and Jane Levy's like,
No.
Oh no, I
Nah,
think they tried to do like all
oh,
Yeah,
hands
who's in? Hands in.
She's, no,
No.
you're
Sweaty.
really sweaty.
Yeah. So they go and get Danny Glover,
Right.
and Danny
Danny
Glover's-
Glover shows up for another 4 minutes.
Yeah, and he's like, you can't. There's no way to build like 3 trucks in the time. Nah, we just don't. There's not enough parts here. We don't have the tools.
And he's like, well, how many, who you got on the repo list?
Yeah. So
But yeah, first they need to get the trucks,
Yeah.
and then they need to build them, and
Yeah.
yeah. So they
there's some sort of order there that's...
well, they go and steal the rich kids. Well, they repo the rich kid's truck because
Right.
they're like, hey, who would have thought the rich kid didn't pay for his truck? Oh well. And
sucks
so-
to be you.
Well, and that dumbass is sitting on the couch playing Titanfall with his hot girlfriend,
Yeah.
like with a headset on,
Right.
Like not even communicating with her, talking shit on the headset, and she again comes to Linda is like, "Hi."
Yeah, because
Ah.
Trip is
Stealing
out there
truck.
hooking the car up and thinks he's caught, and she's just like, "Hello," and he's like, "Hey, we're going now." And so they leave, but basically they're like, "We are never going to find another truck fast enough." And he's like, "I have an idea."
I think it's more big enough.
big enough.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I mean, it doesn't need an engine.
It's true.
that's true. But yeah, so they drive to the Dodge dealership and get the redheaded friend.
Well, they talk about we could use, if we had a dealership, we could use the garage part of it. He's like,
Right.
wait, I killed 2 birds here. So yeah, go see Redhead Friend, and you're like, what's your biggest truck here? And they shows him the Dodge Fuck You 3000, and
Spinning on the lazy
yeah,
Susan.
and he's like, this was going to be my birthday
16th birthday
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, it was going to be 10 years ago when I
Yeah.
turned 16.
It's like,
Um,
oh well, we're gonna chop the fuck out of this thing. Come with us. So they just pull all 3 trucks into this garage, and it's
Iron
yet
Man
another
montage.
montage. So they have this montage of just like putting parts and ripping parts off and doing things and everything, and then they're just like, and here's the final product, and you're like, the fuck.
They're basically like trophy trucks for Baja racing.
It's like
Yeah.
2 completely different trucks, just with the same paint scheme, and you're like, all right, whatever the fuck movie, let's just do this.
Even the Internet Movie Car Database has no idea what those trucks are. It's like Ram?
well, you
They're
need to go to the
cool.
Internet Truck Database. There's
Yeah.
your problem.
Yeah, see?
Yes,
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Monster Truck Database.
I sit corrected.
Internet Dodge database. The IDD. Yeah, so they're just like, okay, let's go. Thomas Lennon is like, okay, I'll get the creatures, and he just basically they've loaded them onto a truck to drive them to the hole that they're going to throw them in, and Thomas Lennon just hijacks the truck,
Yep.
and comedically does not know how to drive the truck, and doesn't know how to drive. I wouldn't either. Like, if I just was going to hijack an 18-wheeler, I'd be like,
big rig?
whatever,
Yeah, but
stuck in the granny hole.
When he gets there, he's like, "Oh, I finally got to drive stick for the first time. That's pretty cool." It's like,
Yeah, he's like, that was quite an adventure.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think an 18 or a big rig is going to be as forgiving on the not knowing how to drive
No.
stick thing.
He's
But-
a smart guy. He's a scientist.
He
He's
was
figured it out.
grinding the fuck out of that thing when he first started driving it.
You know,
Like
it really grinds my gears. Thomas Lennon.
but you see him just like apologizing to the truck as he's trying to get it into. It's like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so they get there and they open up the truck and the things all kind of flop out. And
I think this is the first time Danny Glover is aware of that there was this ulterior motive going on.
Danny Glover was not aware because all these things just kind of flop out and they all hug each other.
Oh, that's right, because they didn't have any of them.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were trapped away.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, no, they had none of. They were just prepping the trucks.
I'm surprised at no point did he go like, "Hey, why are we doing all this and ripping the motor and everything out of it?"
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah. So they
Why are
all
we making these monstrosities of trucks?
they all flop out and hug each other.
and again, Danny Glover's. Most people are very cool with this. They're just like, "Huh,
yeah, check
never
that out.
never seen that before."
Ain't that a
All right,
thing?
well,
He's like, good luck with your plan.
yeah.
I gotta go.
I got to roll.
But they're like, oh, it's a family, and you know, because it's been
He was
established.
just trying to get to his parents.
Yeah, but because it's been established that they can all learn from each other when in close proximity, they all just immediately climb into the trucks and they're like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah. And Thomas Lennon is like, all right, guys, good luck. And they're like, we need somebody to drive the third one.
He's like, what, really? Okay. Man. He goes over and climbs up this giant truck and Dukes of Hazzard
It's
his
the big
way.
green one too.
Yeah,
so.
he Dukes of Hazzard his way into the through the window into the truck,
and
then
not
just,
in a smooth fashion. He
no,
just kind of
it's
clambers,
awkward.
Yeah,
But then casually he's like, "Oh, this opens," and opens the driver's side
he's just
door.
like,
It's a really good joke. It's a fantastic.
It's really
joke.
nice looking too because he like climbs in and he's starting to like lean out the window to try to talk to him or something, and the door just pops open and he's like, "Oh,
this opens.
that opens."
Yeah,
Okay.
these aren't full like Bigfoot Gravedigger style monster trucks, but they are jacked up.
Yeah, they are,
I mean,
yes.
they have big tires, and the fact that he climbed up this truck and in through the window, and then just all in one take reaches. He even does the reach outside for that handle. Oh, this opens. You know, it's it's just all funny.
But so the bad guys had a tracker on the truck. They're like, the truck has come to a stop here. That's where they are. Let's go. So basically, as they peel out to get going, the bad guys pretty much are right on them. And
Well, they get there, and the dorky kid is like, hey, welcome to the dealership. Can I help you? And they're like, they're on the move.
yeah,
But they catch up with him immediately.
yeah. And this is when Barry Pepper's getting his car washed and is just like watching the video of that thing jump over the train tracks and is like,
Why does that truck have tentacles?
yeah.
Hmm.
And then he just
I'm
kind of
used to trucks with testicles, but not tentacles.
Yeah.
he kind of prematurely ends his car wash.
Empty.
Well, yeah, because he also gets a call on the radio. It's like, hey, there's a whole bunch of trucks heading this way.
Yeah, and he's like,
High speed.
all right, I'm on this. I'm joining in. So it's a lot of, driving through fields and over cliffs and hills and stuff, trying to get to this certain terrain that they're going to, where the final climactic thing is going to happen.
And at one point, they wedge in one of the cars, to which the monster inside just decides, fuck these other cars, and puts its tentacles out and just basically smashes on the hoods of both of them.
Yep.
It does the Terminator 3 thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with trucks instead of a big rig.
Yes.
Yeah, where those suckers just get to somersault through the air.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I mean, some of these stunts are obviously CG. Some of them are, they have taken a truck and, caused it to stop immediately and flip over. So there's a weird mix of that doesn't look like anything and, oh, that was real. Okay. So
Yeah.
decent stunts.
Including there is another point somewhere along the way here where one truck basically RKOs another truck.
Yes.
I wish I could describe it better. That's exactly kind of what happens.
Literally what happens.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I mean,
Yeah. But
that's a thing that happened in a movie.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there.
yeah. But main bad guy is trying to ram Trip and his truck off the road, and the car is kind of on two wheels on the edge. And this happens a couple of times. The second time is when Trip just fucking falls out of the truck and is hanging on to the passenger side
You missed
door.
something a little bit earlier, which is he's trying to smash him into the left side of the rock, and
Oh, right.
the truck just leaps in the air
Yeah.
and spins on its longitudinal axis. And I couldn't
does.
think of a more accurate way to say that.
pretty good.
And
Does a barrel roll?
does a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so
I mean,
it's
it's not quite a barrel roll.
it's shown off in that way. But
It was actually the semi. All right, so we didn't mention as they were creeping up to this place, as the bad guys were approaching from behind, they were catching up to this tanker truck
full of poison.
full of the poison that was going to poison the thing.
Yeah.
Which was, I guess they just were bringing more because there was already a poison factory there. But it's the tanker truck that gets RKO'd.
This is their plan.
Yeah.
Like that's what doesn't make sense. Like one of the few things that doesn't make sense, honestly, in this movie, because the script is very good about establishing things early on and then giving those things reason to prevent stuff later that happens later in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's very good in its logic. But this one is they're just trying to get them back to that place. And these guys are like, no, we're going to stop them so we can kill them before they get back to that place where we're going to kill them.
Yeah.
It's one of those everyone kind of has the same destination,
Yeah.
but they have different reasons for going there.
Yeah, if they had just parked the poison truck there early and were like, let's just hide and let them release these things and then just flip the switch on the poison.
Yeah.
Haha, they're all dead now. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. It's not hard to be an evil genius. Fucking think about it.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's the RKO that happens to the tanker truck,
Yes,
so
you're
it's
right.
kind of even more impressive because this thing
Yeah.
just kind of grabs the, the truck part and just
Flips it over and fucking wrecks it. Yeah. But so they've
So
gotten to the
he's
point.
hanging on the edge of
yeah.
the cliff. And
And-
Barry Pepper's like, oh, shit.
He's shown up in his shiny Jeep minivan, whatever the
Patriot or
yeah,
something.
whatever this thing is.
One of those shitty Jeeps.
And
Sheeps. Yes.
Creech has kind of saved Trip, but the bad guy's coming at him basically for the kill shot. He's going to fucking murder him, and Barry Pepper takes him out. So there's that. But the other guy's like, fuck that, and starts to he's going to murder Barry Pepper.
Yeah, literally
now.
attempts to murder Barry Pepper.
Yeah, who ends up going down.
Yeah,
You think
he
he's just
broadsides
going
him
down
and
to
sends
his,
him down the side of a goddamn mountain.
you think he's going to go down to his death, but you can just see he's very, not gingerly, but is drivable down to where he gets to the bottom and gets out. Now, he has been loving this car the entire movie. Like, he has been polishing and cleaning this police car.
Very subtle.
Yes.
It's been very subtle the
Yes.
entire movie. Like, the first time we see him,
He's just
the
buffing
wife
a little bit.
leans on the car to give him a smooch.
Yeah.
And as she walks away,
He just
he
buffs
takes
it.
a little rag and buffs the car off real quick.
But he gets down to the bottom of this cliff or whatever, gets out of his car, and is for half a second is mad about what happened, and then turns and looks at what has happened to his car and lets out this little squeal, this little just which I think we all agreed was the best moment of acting we've ever seen from Barry Pepper.
absolutely.
So you think he's out? You think he's down for the count for this? You're just like, okay, well that's it for Barry Pepper. No, because something.
He's ended up at some other construction site.
Yeah, he's basically like, I can't let this go. I've still got to save my sort of kid.
Yeah,
There's, he
Where
There's
winds
sort of
up,
a mine there.
Yeah, he like winds up at another construction site, and there's a semi decent size like Dodge 3500 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's a big ass truck, and then he looks over and it's like, oh, there's a dump truck. I'm going to take that. And as we said as we were watching the movie, comedy rule of threes, there better be a bigger truck. And as he's sitting into the dump truck, he looks up and goes, and just like the eyes keep going
he kinda
up.
He kind of looks sort of back towards the camera, so we don't see what he's looking at, but he gets this look on his face.
And like I said, the eyes just keep going up, and it's like that's one of the big fuck you dump trucks, isn't it?
Yep. And
Yeah.
they cut from there back to the chase on the hillside.
Yeah.
Where they've got this basically a canyon where they forced them in, and they've put gasoline across the middle of it and lit it on fire because it's been established earlier that Creech is terrified of fire.
And as Levy points out, it's like, well, if you drank oil all the time, you probably would be too.
yes. But there's no reason for the bad guys to know this. But whatever,
They
it's
do
effective.
know about the oil that they were
I
eating
guess.
oil, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, so immediately the trucks come to a stop, and they're just like, "What?
Yeah, you're cornered,
Yeah,
bitches.
what do we do?" So then from behind, you just hear this rumbling, and that's when Barry Pepper, this vehicle enters the scene, and it is just the most ginormous thing you've ever seen a human being drive. It is just a giant dump platform.
It is an ultra class dump truck. There's a class of vehicles called an ultra class.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. At one time, this Liebherr T284 was the largest load capacity dump truck on the planet. It has been since eclipsed, but it is
It's like three
the
stories
largest
tall.
land. Yeah, it is. They are.
Yeah. They had one of these, like one of the older style big ass dump trucks in one of the Jackie Chan movies was like the finale.
Yes, that's
But
right.
like this one blows that out of the water. This one
Absolutely.
could carry that one on in the bed.
Yeah.
You know.
And this thing comes through and just starts murdering the other trucks, like the bad guys' trucks.
Yep.
Just wrecking the shit out of them. And so the good trucks have moved to the side. This thing comes through
just
the fire.
wrecks all the bad guys' vehicles are these like big Dodge Ram 3500s that are blacked out with light bars and look all
Bullshit.
sorts of fucking cool. Got
Yeah.
big bull bars on the front, and this thing just mows every single fucking one of them over. It is glorious and beautiful.
Yep. And it pushes the main bad guy through the wall of fire.
Yes.
And then he's just like, okay, we need a ramp. We need something
Well,
to
he
get
gets
through this.
stuck.
Yeah.
Because
It can't go any further.
the road narrows and he kind of gets stuck and he can't go
Yeah.
anywhere.
So it's like, I'm going to create this this is how you'll get through it. I'll make a ramp for you. So he just makes a ramp, and all three of the creature trucks just are like, fuck yeah, boom, just through the air, just landing way on the other side.
Well, also like the bad guys' vehicles are going down whatever the next thing is like going down a switchback trail, and so they jump and go straight down the switchback instead of taking the long hairpin turns. They just go straight down the fucking mountain.
Yeah, and so they show shots of all three of them landing, like Trip lands and the girl lands, and then Thomas Lennon lands, and Thomas Lennon just fucking pukes all over himself.
Yep.
They're all like, woohoo! And they cut to him, and he just goes, brah!
Well, about halfway down the mountain, all the monster trucks basically started being like, "Fuck yeah, this is sweet," and like flipping unnecessarily.
Yeah, like one of the truck's wheels comes off, and the tentacle comes out and grabs it and just sticks it back on.
Sure, yeah.
Doing
Transformers ass sequence.
Yeah, just doing 360 flips and everything. Thomas Lennon just, brah, all over himself.
Yep.
Pretty good. But yeah, so they get to the poison site, which is just this big hole where the water is.
And again, they already have some poison there because they come, running up and chase off the scientists, the evil scientists.
Well,
They're
yeah,
basically like
the scientists that are there see them coming and are like, oh, and so they have to punch in
They
codes
just
real quick
fucking
to like
flip the switch immediately. They're just like, oh well, fuck this, and it's like, Jesus Christ, guys,
Yeah.
Rob Lowe's not even there to tell you to do it.
Yeah.
You're a fucking evil piece of shit, ensign.
fracking assholes.
Yes. Yeah, so they've turned on the launch sequence for whatever poison they've got or whatever.
Yeah.
And Thomas Lennon just, kind of goes over there and is like,
I can't stop it.
I will science something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's messing around with it, but he's like, they locked us out. I got to find another way around to shut it off.
And if this needle gets to this arbitrary thing, game over. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and the evil henchman dude isn't dead.
No.
And basically like starts ramming. What's his face is whatever. Havoc's. I can't remember the dude's name.
Trip.
Trip. Trip's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rams
Yeah.
Trip's truck is like pushing him towards the edge.
Because this guy is just like, I can't stop being evil.
Yeah. And they get into like this this sumo monster truck, from the WCW pay-per-view.
Yes.
Where it's just their nose to nose.
Is that
and
a Halloween Havoc?
Yeah. And they're just pushing back and forth, and the bad guy's trying to push him into the cavern, and Trip and Creature pushing back.
And eventually they get to the edge, and basically this thing is like, fuck you, I'm going to German suplex your other truck into the equipment.
Yes.
And also, causing it to stop the, poison flowing, but then also we're going to fall down the hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they do.
They do.
Far.
Yeah.
Super far.
Yeah, like totally dead on impact, but not in this movie.
No.
Because they land in the water that is supposed to be under there, and, the creature is like, fuck yeah, water, I'm going to rescue you Abyss style and bring you up here, and look, I'm all,
Yeah, there's literally a
iridescent.
shot underwater where Trip kind of comes to, and Creech is just floating in front of him, E.T. Butterfly from the end of the abyss, just like, check me out. And it's like, oh, all right. So, and then, abysses him back up to the top and, carries him and places him on the
I
land.
feel like along the way, we haven't been pointing out how many Spielberg-esque
Oh, sure.
things this is along the way.
Oh, they straight up hit some E.T. music
Oh,
towards the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, like, as the trucks are driving to it, I was like, oh, when the ramp started happening, I was like, well, this is when the bikes take off.
Yep.
Where's the bad guys with walkie-talkies or
Yep.
guns?
Yep.
But they're not there.
Yeah.
They were crushed under the weight of the giant ultra, whatever it is, dump
Yes.
truck.
Yeah.
Ultra class, is that what we're calling it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Liebherr T284.
Oh, it's we.
But yeah, Trip is on dry land, and,
It's the opposite. It's German.
Oh,
close.
Sorry, I wasn't angry enough saying Liebherr!
yeah.
Yeah, that would do it. And, Creech is in the water, and the other two have gotten in the water, and then just a whole bunch of them just pop up. Basically like, hey, thanks, dude.
Yeah, like
Appreciate it.
dozens and dozens
Yeah.
of them.
We're going to go do it family style. See you later.
And they all go away except for Creech, who's just kind of like, basically, I got to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Bye,
and
Billy.
he basically says, Trip tells him, I know where to find you, buddy.
Yeah.
In the center of the earth.
You were a good truck.
And Creech goes,
Being poisoned eventually.
Yeah, you're a good truck, but you're a better friend.
Yeah.
and Creech goes, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Kept waiting for the thing to talk. I just figured like at some point it
Yeah,
was just
it
going to
was
start
like-
talking, but it never did, and I got to give it credit for that because there's no reason for it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna go down this far down the Spielberg hole, you might as well go the rest of the way.
I don't know. I kind of appreciated that it did.
Yeah, all right.
So I mean, we could just watch ET again if we want that. So.
Or Gremlins. Or
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Goonies.
So
for
But
that
they
matter.
just go way deep down that hole and they're gone.
yeah.
And then from a mile up, the dad's like,
way deep down there.
yeah. Barry Pepper's like, stay there.
Wait there.
Hey, wait there. And it's like, where am I going to go?
fuck, dude?
I don't have a mile-long rope with me, thanks.
You got it. I'll stay here. Yeah, but then it's just kind of a wrap up montage, which is basically like Barry Pepper and him now get along, and
They
There's
rebuilt the
there's
truck.
another good joke here. Oh no, it was actually when he was like, I got this, and he's running through everything, and like I'm gonna put the ramp down, and he's like, when he realizes that stepdad sheriff is coming, he goes
right.
like, I'm sorry I said all these bad things about you. He's like, yeah, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
yes, oblivious that Trip thought he was a piece of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're friends now, and they they build a new truck, and it's got tentacles on it, and he and his girlfriend drive.
I mean, it
through.
has tentacles painted on it.
Yes, yeah, but it's an actual truck with an engine in it.
Right. Same truck,
Yeah.
it looks like,
Yeah,
but just
painted.
with an actual engine. Yeah.
Yeah, and he and his girlfriend go driving.
Or are they just hanging out?
I think they're.
I think they really
a
need to
thing.
define the
I think they're
relationship.
fucking. I think
Monster
so.
fucking.
Yeah, I think they're totally fucking. You go through an experience like
monster
this, you're totally
style.
But yeah, then it's just
He could have
Yeah.
friend zoned the shit out of her. I mean, like,
I think he came around.
kind of
I
He's
think at
pretty
the end,
dumb, but I don't think he's that dumb.
Yeah, no, I think by the end he was like,
Think
"Oh
he
wait,
came around what?
her probably.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But there's the montage they have him and Barry Pepper getting along. They have they show rich guy riding in the girlfriend's VW Bug, looking at him like,
Oh.
And
her,
he's sitting
and her
in there,
waving,
and
at
she
him.
waves at him again.
He's holding like 90 shopping bags
Yeah.
also, and her two girlfriends are in the back seat.
Yep.
And he looks just this pathetic look like, oh, my life sucks now because
Yeah.
I have to hang out with my girlfriend. Idiot.
No more Titanfall for me.
Oh.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is all scored to well, not scored, but it's all that Philip Phillips song "Home," which you've heard.
God,
It's become like
fucking sick of that.
yeah,
stuff.
it's become the generic everything's happy wrap up song.
Yeah, but I think because this movie was made 3 years earlier, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
as played out then as it is now.
Nobody had heard it back then.
Yeah,
probably.
it would have been groundbreaking.
I think they've used that
They use
in
it
an
in
everything, like a
commercials.
WWE
Commercials.
montage.
Yeah, of course
even.
they have.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, and that's
But
that's
yeah,
basically
but
it.
he
They just
basically
kind of
drives off into the sunset.
Yeah.
With Jane Levy.
yeah.
Is it Levy or Levy? We've said it different like every single time we say it. I don't know.
I just Levy.
I like Levy because when I say Levy, I think Eugene Levy, which is kind of the opposite of her
Kind of.
on the hotness meter.
Yes,
Yeah.
kind of.
So I'm going to go with Levy.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gene
Yeah,
Levy's pretty hot.
You know, he's all right.
Yeah. I'd do him.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
He seems nice. Seems like a generous lover.
She-
Yeah. That's the thing. You know Eugene Levy he'd take care of you.
Yeah.
you do know that.
He's very kind and attentive.
right.
It's all in the eyebrows, man.
it really is.
It's just,
Oh, it's all in the eyebrows. All right.
Chuck,
All right.
that's gross.
Oh,
Why would
sorry.
you say something like that,
Sorry,
Chuck?
I have besmirched the sexy name of Eugene Levy, and I apologize. Levy?
You know why she liked?
Damn it! Let me have this.
You know why Jane Levy liked him so much?
Why?
Because he drove a Dodge.
Oh.
If you drive a Chevy to the levee, then the levee is dry.
I knew where that was going halfway through. And thank you anyway for continuing for that.
So
All
let's
right.
rate this.
Let's
You ba-
rate this
You basically
fucking
started
movie.
saying those words, and I was like, "Wow, he's
Get-
going to go all the way with this, isn't he?"
Out. Get out. Fuck all y'all.
We're sorry, Eugene and Jane.
Time froze for a moment, and an angel came down and handed that joke to me and said,
Here, sir. Delight
"This
the
will
audience.
blaze your path to hell. Take it and be fruitful."
Oh.
Oh my God, that's yeah.
All right,
So-
let's rate this.
Yeah, like
No
we said, no Star Grove.
no Star Grove.
None of that.
No,
nothing.
fuck that.
We put lyrics in that didn't
Yeah.
exist in the
Yeah.
movie.
No. I can go.
Yeah,
Please.
go for it.
I I love this movie. I unequivocally love it, and I don't understand the reaction to it in any way, shape, or form from anyone except us here in this room. I don't get why the studio dumped it. I don't know why when it came out people were like, yeah, fuck that movie, that's garbage. It's not. It's charming, it's cute, it's funny, legit funny. Some of the effects are garbage. Some of the effects are really good. Some of the stunts are really good.
There are really only a couple crap effect shots.
I think there are very, very few poor effects.
Yeah, I mean, like when a truck is driving over rooftops in a downtown community, you're like, yeah, that's probably not going to be real. And guess what? It's not.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding that against it. I mean, I think the soundtrack is bad. I think some of the special effects are bad. But other than that, I love everything about this. This is a cute movie. I really love it. I'm giving it 5 jocks. I think this is... this was not what I was expecting. Like I was saying before, maybe before we started recording, I was expecting like this just to be some like he's got to soup up his truck and battle the toughs and win the race. And it's just like even towards the end, I thought they were like going to challenge the oil company to a race. I thought they were just going to be like, well, you've got some fast truck, well, race us. And then
so do you think it was going to end like Tokyo Drift?
Yeah,
where they walked into Rob Lowe's office and they're like, one race.
Yes.
Loser leaves town.
Yeah. I do like, too, that during the closing montage, they set him up by releasing some endangered lizards into the area where they were drilling, and then the cops come in and arrest Rob Lowe in this boardroom with the Bluetooth headset on, and he is just shocked. He's just like, what? I never. Just getting arrested. But 5 jocks. I love this thing. This thing is great. I can't believe that it didn't get any attention. So.
All right, I'll go, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those weird ones where I think sort of like I have very similar opinions as when we finished Detention, where I kind of almost want to apologize and say we were going off of what we assumed and or heard, and I feel like we were totally wrong that this is not a bad movie, because I don't think it is at all. The only thing I can really point to is that they obviously had to skimp on some of the effects. That's pretty much it. That would be like that, and like, I mean, look, music is what music is now, and I think a lot of it sucks, but I'm old, so I'm going to think that. So like a lot of this music was really annoying, but like not aggressively so. Like it wasn't like, oh, that is the worst thing you could pick. Like to the fact, like,
it wasn't like they dropped like a slow piano cover of All Star in the middle of the movie or anything.
That would have been sweet.
I would have been okay with that, strangely. No, it's so generic that I was like, all right, yeah, that's what would be in a kid-friendly sort of horror movie / not horror.
Yeah, it's
horror,
also Nickelodeon Studios, so
yeah,
it's like
horror in the way that like E.T. scared you when you were 5, like that kind of horror. But yeah, I mean, this is fucking E.T. Gremlins. It's everything that is awesome, just in a ridiculous premise, and I have no problem with that. Like that's the world we live in. If we're gonna get a remake, do something interesting with it. Because I mean, to me, this is almost a straight up remake of E.T. Almost beat for beat in certain points, but.
Yep.
Yes, I'm gonna give it 4 jocks. I don't think it's perfect. I mean, it doesn't get like the holy shit rating for me, but like,
I don't think it's perfect either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's really good. Like it's really good, and I think like, not that it would ever happen in a million years, but like this is a movie you could easily special edition because all you need to do is fix some crappy effect shots. That they're like, well, somebody probably has the files and just be like, can we have some more time rendering this shit? Because you skimped us on the budget here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's basically all I can is like generic music and some bad CG effects due to budget problems. Like I think this is a great little movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to agree with 4 jocks. I mean this movie, it's charming. Like I want to show it to my niece and nephews right now. Like I get the feeling that they would just freaking love everything about this movie, and I think the majority of the effects are really good, like especially when they interact with the creature itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That stuff is like great.
Yeah.
Almost all of it. There's one weird shot where it's poking its eye like out of the out of the dashboard, and they kind of push on it. That's like that doesn't quite work. But so many of them, like
But she has a good line. She's like, "Ew, I touched its eye."
Yeah. But so many of the effects in this movie, like they're really sold well. It definitely feels like this creature has weight and presence in every scene when you know it has to be CG.
Yeah.
But
I didn't mean to make it
was
sound like it's bad.
acted around well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
phrased
and
it
that's-
poorly, but they
It's the Transformers-esque moments where it fails as in
The vehicle
special-
stuff
Yeah.
doesn't look right. The
Like,
creature
yeah.
always looks good.
yeah, especially near the end.
Yeah.
When they're
But a
barreling
lot of the
down
vehicle
hill.
stuff still does. Like there was a lot of practical vehicle
Absolutely.
work in this,
Absolutely.
and that looks really good. I
Yes.
mean, it's obvious it's going to look good because it's a practical thing. Like it's a real truck with a real engine,
Yeah.
being driven by a real person.
But- Yeah, I think the thing that makes this movie work the most is that everyone that's in it is on board with it. There's
Yes.
nobody who's acting like they're above it or they're like, oh well, whatever. It's everyone's selling this and on board in a way that we enjoy, even in movies that don't pull it off. But this one I feel pulls all of that off, and it's a lot of fun, and it's almost a shame that it flopped, basically, which I guess would be how it qualifies for what we're doing.
Sure.
But it's also, I guess, the original script that went around was like way more horrific and definitely not this little PG movie that it is.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, the design of the creature, if they had handled it differently, could be pretty damn horrifying.
Well, it does have its moments of super scary creature, like when it's shouting at things. It's got its big gaping tube maw with all of the teeth.
Yeah.
And that's a scary looking design, but they really only use that a couple times in the whole movie.
Yeah. It's like when your puppy snaps at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, aren't you adorable? Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, you have teeth.
Look at
puppy's
you.
angry.
You're an actual wild animal that I've let live in my house.
Who's a good dog?
But yeah, this is a lot of fun.
I will go ahead and do my rating first. 4 jocks, for sure. Pretty close to a 5, but not quite there. There are a couple things that just hold it back. The music is terrible, and there's just a few effects that are really not great. And it's also just a hair cheesy, I guess, at some points. But it just doesn't get me going like a 5 Jocks movie does, and that's where I have to take that from, is kind of my gut. But this is one of those, like, I guess we're not necessarily looking to find like an actual good movie that people just missed. We're kind of looking. It feels like we're generally looking for bad movies that are actually good in enough ways to make them good. But this is a movie that there's no bad movie about this. Like there's nothing that says bad movie about it except for like
Maybe like the basic premise. I mean, because if you tell
the basic
somebody
premise
what
is-
this is about, they're going to be like, "That sounds fucking stupid."
but the basic premise to a lot of movies is stupid.
I mean,
exactly.
the premise of Men in Black is dumb.
Right.
And this is that same kind of CG nightmare kind of people interacting with weird monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is a $125 million movie that got shit out by the studio, who abandoned all hope in it.
Right, and it's weird. I don't know if it just didn't test well with whatever audience they put in front of it, but the studio kind of failed this movie because I think people should really like it. It is charming. It is funny in all the right ways. It is tame, for sure. It is nothing,
But not childish.
Right. It's nothing that's gonna really ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
The only thing it even comes close to, ruffling feathers about is the possible environmental aspect, but they don't even touch on like the problem that a lot of people have with fracking, which is, poisoning the groundwater, and causing earthquakes and all that crap.
And they never say fracking at any point.
No,
in the movie
never.
or anything like that.
No,
I mean,
it's
we
just basically drilling underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's not even. You could argue that it's not even fracking; it's just drilling for oil. Period. But they never really touch on the environmentalist aspect of drilling for oil through a giant water pocket or whatever. They just say we're drilling for oil and we're doing bad things because we're bad people.
Yep.
They kind of skirt around that, so you can't even like be mad at from a very, very pro-oil standpoint, you can't really be mad at this movie. It's just shitty people doing shitty things.
Yeah.
It knocks so much stuff out of the park. The acting, nobody sucks. There are no slouch actors in this movie. Like, obviously, there are a lot of actual actors in this, but
It's
nobody
well
looks like they're being lazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge surprise for what I expected when I saw the Nickelodeon Studios logo.
Yes.
I saw that and I was like, oh, God. Damn it, Chuck. What the fuck did you get us into? Why are we going to be watching a fucking kids movie? What is this shit going to be? Like, a kids movie about a truck.
Well, whatever.
Great.
You're welcome.
And it was really pretty good.
Yes.
4 jocks. Well done.
Cool. Want to take a break?
Sure.
I do.
Let's.
Monster trucks. Monster trucks.
Monster, your trucks.
Monster trucks.
I love that when you type in monster trucks into IMDb, the second thing that comes up is Rolling Vengeance.
No.
All right. I mean, I obviously have one movie to talk about.
Obviously.
I have 2.
Okay.
We don't have emails this week. We're not going to do them because
We don't have any?
It's 11:15 already. So there's one, but I don't think we're going to do it.
Well, like I said, I just obviously I have one movie I kind of need to talk about. It's a thing.
I ain't got shit.
This will be the Harlow pisses off the internet half of the show.
I will
Don't
say,
worry, there are plenty of people that are on your side.
No, they're not on my side. Fuck those people.
in defense
No,
of
it's not
Nickelodeon
that.
Studios,
It's like people that actually. Yeah, we'll get into it.
All right.
The whole internet doesn't fucking love Wonder Woman.
Okay. And
There are non-assholes that don't love Wonder Woman. Okay. Let's put it that way.
And don't start that because I do like it.
I know.
don't start that.
So, Chuck, what
I
were
just
you
don't want to. I don't want to fire up the
Oh, no.
Wonder Woman Defense Force before I get a time.
I was
time
gonna
to
say,
have words come out of my mouth.
In defense of Nickelodeon Studios, Good Burger.
saying? Yeah. Good Burger's great.
That was like 25 years ago.
Still.
SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water is fucking amazing.
Is it? All right.
I mean, if you like SpongeBob's humor, when introducing the dumb live action aspect of it is kind of fucking amazing.
And this will sound weird coming from me, but for some reason the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie is actually okay.
All right.
So, I mean, Nickelodeon is not a constant source of garbage.
Actually, both the other SpongeBob movie is great too.
Yeah.
Kenan Thompson looks the same as he did back then. Like, now, that guy has not aged a second.
Well, you should watch Heavyweights.
He aged a little bit from there.
He's a little baby in
Yeah,
Heavyweights.
well, he was like 12.
Yeah, well, still.
But from, like, Good Burger, like,
Oh, yeah.
he has not aged. It's strange. That man is packed with the devil or something.
I wish they would.
He's
hurry up
gonna
with
he's
that
gonna do the
criterion.
Matthew Broderick thing where like he'll just hit 55.
Yeah, and
it'll,
all of a sudden it's like,
keep-
oh my God, you're
like
old.
suddenly he'll just Richard Dreyfuss like, holy shit, how old are you now?
Yeah.
Except the back, the back
Yeah.
end.
The painting in his attic fell apart.
Exactly. Yeah. He had to see it. To see the picture to Kenan Thompson.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. All right, welcome back.
Hey! BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Second half. Woo! Half number 2.
The
All
second
right.
half.
Right.
So let's get down to business. Who's
Yeah.
seen something?
I have a movie.
I've seen stuff, but his is newer.
I think I have to talk about a movie because
Okay.
the rest of the internet is, and so
Yeah.
I'm on the internet, so therefore I have to talk about this.
Is it Alien Covenant?
No, we already talked about that. I'm going to talk about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Let me preface everything I'm about to say with that I really liked the movie, and I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd.
Why didn't you give it 5?
I'm about to tell you why.
Great.
Okay,
I remember doing this when the Avengers came out.
right. Well, all right.
Oh, okay.
You got a little pedantic, so just saying. Just all right. Wonder Woman is very good. Wonder Woman, when you compare it to the current crop of DC movies, and I don't fully understand what the delineation point is, because as I understand it, we're not calling anything Nolan Batman trilogy part of the DCCUE blah.
I think they just mean the ones that are supposed to be together now.
Right. Yes.
Which
okay.
is basically only like 3 movies.
Yeah,
this is the fourth movie out of that.
Yeah, I guess Suicide Squad counts. Okay, so, I mean, when you compare it to all of those, this movie is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I am looking at it solely as a fan of comics, a fan of the character, and fan of movies. Mm-hmm. So, I do still have some issues with it, and let that not detract from whatever joy and wonder that you have from this amazing woman.
Thank you for booking that like that.
So here's all right, and they're going to seem sort of nitpicky. I think we had a discussion. It may have even been last week about color palettes in movies, kind of setting a tone for a time. Mm-hmm. And perhaps it's a little trite, but like I think movies have been doing it for so long now that if you don't set a color palette for a time, it doesn't feel right. And this has the exact same color palette as Man of Steel, Batman v Superman in World War I. And for whatever reason, and also there's some tiny bits of modern thing thrown in for connection's sake, of kind of like the Captain America, like, look, we're doodle-doo, we're in the past now. Like, here's the stuff that happened in modern times, so you can relate here, kids. But, like, it's the exact same color scheme in that to World War I, and then, sort of back to that. And
so they don't give it the sepia tone.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to go hardcore, Band of Brothers style filter on it or something like that. I feel like they needed to do something just to better break the time. And so here's where I'm coming from is like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and like I said, I don't love Suicide Squad. I feel like the world went with Suicide Squad in the opposite direction that they're going with Wonder Woman. Like, I feel like people overly hate that, and people like unanimously love this. Like, it is like 100% one way or the other, And I feel like people are giving Suicide Squad too hard of a time, and I feel like people are being just a little bit too praise heavy on this. Like, okay. And maybe I think Suicide Squad probably deserves it more than this does towards the hate side than this does towards the love side. Like, I get why this is closer to the love side, but like you have established this universe that looks this way. This Zack Snyder color palette thing is persistent throughout these, and it just like brings me back to that. Like, I needed some separation of like, don't make it look like those, like, because I need this not to be that. Yeah. And so like it does a little bit of a disservice just being in that same look and feel of the CG style being the same and stuff. However, this movie is like worlds better than all of those.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. The only other thing, and like I said, I feel like this one is the one I'm walking into a landmine with, but there's weird bits of innuendo throughout all of this that it's weird because like I said, this is completely walking into a minefield, but it feels weird because like this movie feels like it's taking on a life of its own beyond the movie itself, sort of like we have with Ghostbusters, whatever, 2015. What year was that?
2016.
2016? Okay. I can't. Yeah. I mean, I feel like these things have like become the symbols of a cause, and by my slight criticisms of them, I'm not criticizing the cause. And so like you build these things up to a level where you can't say anything about them. But this movie has like weird bits of innuendo that I think I would equally have a problem with were the roles reversed. Like I don't want somebody making jokes about the size of Black Widow's tits any more than I want like innuendo about the size of Chris Pine's junk. You know, like I just like there's like weird stuff in that, and I'm like, is that hashtag feminism or is that just like kind of inappropriate for a superhero movie? Like, I get it because like there have been many years of like objectifying women, and sure, I'm gonna give it a pass because like I feel like maybe it's justified because of that, but at the same time, I'm like, it was just kind of happening. I'm like, I don't know that this needs to be in this movie. Like, it doesn't feel right.
Is that really the kind of quality that we need to be going for?
Right.
That sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and like I said, it's funny for like a second, but it feels like it kind of goes on and comes up, no pun intended, like too many times in the movie. So like I said, that is like a super nitpicky point, but like it was just like
Is it just the expectation of just be better?
kind of
Be better than us?
a little bit, yeah. Like I mean, truth be told, I say horrible things, but I say horrible things about everyone and anything. Like I don't,
We know.
equal opportunity offender here. Like, and so like I personally do believe that women are better. Like I know that's not the point of feminism, but like men are kind of shitbags, and I recognize this because I am one, and my expectation is for women to be better, and like not. I think that's kind of why I don't like Bridesmaids. Is like don't do gross guy humor. Like be better. Like that's like
Be better than us,
yeah,
please.
yeah. It's just like
You will save humanity.
like anyway, but like
No.
yeah, like
does
I said,
make sense.
I get what you're
it's,
going
it's super nitpicky, and like I said, feel free to fire back because believe me, I've wrestled with it. Like there have been a million things, innuendos about women's bodies throughout the year. So fine, if that's what you're going for and that was the message, fine, great. Jam the knife. You need it, but it just felt wrong in like this setting. Because like ultimately. Because like one of the coolest things about going to this was like, as I'm sure lots of people around the country have, like there were kids in the theater like dressed like Wonder Woman, and that was fucking awesome. And I'm like, they don't need subtle dick jokes, and like just be better. Like kids, like this is like people are taking pictures with the stand up, and they're not doing gross sexual things with it. They're like, I want to fucking take a picture doing Wonder Woman arms, and like that's cool as shit. And so like I just. Little things like that, just be better. Like, but like the story overall is really good, and like you could very easily. I get it, and like I don't have a problem with it. I just like some people are like, how can you possibly point that out? But unfortunately, this movie is a little bit of blending of Captain America: First Avenger and the first Thor, because it's like here is this godlike power fish out of water situation, except like if Jane from Thor was actually capable. Not just kind of like I'm a scientist, but now I'm helpless. But like, and then you have this like ragtag sort of like cultural mishmash troop in a time where that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Kind of running around. So like, you can't help but like draw some parallels there. But like, I've always said if you're going to borrow ideas, do it from something good and execute it well. And I don't have a problem with that. But like, there were points in the movie where I was like, all right, that's okay. Like there was just a couple times where I was like, that feels familiar. Yes. Like still good. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I really like the movie. I didn't hit that point of like, fuck yes, this is the perfect like superhero movie. Like
So it's like a Four Jocks movie.
Yeah, it's a really solid movie. So, I don't know. Like I said, I liked it. I just didn't love it, and maybe I should have seen it Thursday night. Maybe I would feel completely different about it because it seemed like Friday through Sunday when I saw it, the internet just exploded all over this movie with joy. So I couldn't.
I feel like maybe people were so happy to have a good DC
slash woman-led superhero movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Good new DC movie, good representation of Wonder Woman, because people were like, I think ever since Wonder Woman got announced, people are like on tenterhooks and like holding their breath, like, are they gonna fuck it up? And just the joy of them not fucking it up, apparently, allegedly, has pushed people sort of over the edge.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Like I said, I'm
happy for people to be happy about something.
Of all the things that have been like the focal point of hashtag feminism going forward, please latch onto this one because, like, I'm sorry, to me, Ghostbusters was subpar. Rogue One to me is subpar. Like all the, I mean, you could argue Force Awakens, but like that was like there's Rey and company of people traveling where they're like she wasn't the one person leading it, like like Jen and Rogue One. Like, please, this is the movie to latch onto. It is, to me, it is better than both of those. So if you need a centerpiece for your movement, I am fine with this. Plus, it's fucking Wonder Woman. So how do you get much more iconic than that? She's a superhero that doesn't have girl attached to the end.
Yeah.
She's
a fucking
woman.
woman. Yeah. So
Cool.
And apparently Robin Wright is in this movie.
yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I learned about that literally today.
Because of that awesome thing going around on Twitter that I've seen both of my princesses grow up to be generals. The childhood princesses. grow
Oh,
up to be
I
gen-
hadn't.
Oh,
I
you
hadn't seen that. No.
Yeah,
it's
But I just heard like, princess grows up to punch Nazis or proto Nazis or whatever.
well,
Punch
No
the
Nazis
Krauts.
in World War One.
Yeah, I always. The Germans are the bad guys, so they're Nazis in my head, and I make that mistake. a lot.
proto-Nazi. That's
Proto-Nazis,
Proto-Nazi
pre-Nazis.
works. Yeah.
The Krauts.
Right.
But anyway, like I saw that, I was like, Robin. It's not the reason like that I'm going to go see this movie, but
It helps.
it sure helps because I love Robin Wright. She is fantastic.
That's all I got.
So, I saw a movie in the theater.
Did you?
Yeah, I finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, that
congrats.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that movie's good. Yeah, I mean, part of it was spoiled for me. One of the most crucial parts, but, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not as good as the first one. And it does... I've been trying to figure out, why does every sequel to a big movie decide that at the start of the second act, you got to split the team up?
Yeah.
Every single big movie sequel. It's like, hey, we got this group together, and you love how they work together and do all this, and they had an action scene in the beginning, and now let's split them all up. Because this movie, it's like, all right, time for the second act, split them up. And I just don't understand why every movie has followed that template.
Is it so they can get them back together in the third act, and
Yeah,
then you
of
feel
course.
what you felt
But it's just,
in the first movie?
It's they're strong together, so we split them apart to weaken them,
Yeah.
and then they get back together and get strong again.
Strong.
Because they can't. I think it may be an escalate. Like they're worried about continuing escalation, and people are just don't know how to write themselves out of that.
yeah.
Well, Empire did it.
Yeah. But that's the thing so they do that, which is kind of a bummer, and it just kind of meanders through the first two acts. Like it's kind of like a lot of setup that they just keeps getting set up, and then finally in the third act it's like, okay, yeah, it's all coming together now. But it's a fun movie. I mean, the opening credits are just super fun, and there's a meta commentary on, yeah, this doesn't really matter. Like, we know this is the first action scene, so it doesn't really matter. And they handle that super, super well in just a really, really fun way. And, yeah, I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, there is a ton of inside joke shit, especially in that last 15 minutes. And there's also, like, a lot of cathartic, emotional stuff going on in that last 15 minutes. Like, way more than I was expecting to be happening at that point. For being a superhero movie, basically. But, yeah.
So, genuine emotion.
Yeah, I was really surprised. And some of them, if you'd seen the movie, you would not think that those were the ones that got me more. But there's a lot of conflict and resolution and just really heartfelt stuff that happens by the end of that movie. That is it's good. It's a damn good movie. I still think the first one has that certain joy of discovery to it that, that the characters are having along with the audience, that you can't capture that again. And they don't really try to in this one, but, I think it doesn't quite work as well as the first one does, but I think it's a great movie. But something else I watched,
Yeah.
which
Oh man,
my wife has never
watching
read
all these things.
never read or seen any of the Harry Potter anything.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Yep, and she's managed to avoid everything. She doesn't know anything about any of it. She just knows that it's Harry Potter, and that they, they play something called Quidditch that everyone talks about, and people do quizzes on Facebook to see which house they're in and all that sort of shit. But that's all she knows about it. So I was like, all right, we're gonna watch. Like, she's like, let's do it. So we rented the first one, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or in every other country, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
Right.
on Amazon, and proceeded to watch all 2.5 hours of that, which that movie's dated poorly.
Yeah.
That movie has Chris Columbus, first of all, the effects are terrible, like throughout that movie. And there is so much green screen, and a lot of it really, really unnecessary green screen, where it's just, you can tell it's a dolly shot as they pan around a character who's standing in front of fucking nothing, and they're just throwing CG behind them, just because, we need a panning shot of this. It's like, no, don't do your fucking dolly shot. Don't, ugh. I mean,
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, and maybe it's like HD makes it worse now than it looked on like DVD back in the day, but fucking A, man. Because it's like 2001 movie, but it's got 80s sensibilities as far as like child actors, where they're like, look at the camera and scream, just like bullshit like that's happening.
Right.
And like the overly dramatic, like Draco has to do like a dramatic head turn away when Terry says something he doesn't like, just like that sort of like Goonies type mentality of, let's make it like that. But mixed with like episode 1 era CG, where it's just like, wow, yeah, that looks shitty.
Yeah.
And it's that weird mixture of sometimes there's practical effects in scenes, and then like, oh, well, we need the CG to do this. So suddenly it's switching to CG, and then it's back to a practical thing. And it's like, you're not doing either of these well, But having read the book, I knew, like, I could tell it was just like, that movie's just checking boxes. It's like, this scene's got to be in there. This scene's got to be in there. This scene's got to be in there.
Yeah.
By the end of the first act, you wouldn't even remember that they're still in a school where they take classes, whereas the books are always like the push-pull of, oh, we need to investigate this thing. We need to find out what's on the 3rd floor.
But also we have potions at 3:30.
Yes, exactly. And if we're late for that, then our house loses point. They're like, that stuff just is basically gone, and they just kind of like condense so many things down into nothing.
Yeah.
That it's weird. Like, the plot doesn't kick in until like the last 45 minutes of the movie. Like, it just feels like you're going from scene to scene to scene, which because people that remember this from the book wanted to see that. And so it's like, yeah. And certain scenes, like the one where he gets his wand and it's John Hurt is the old man who gives it to him. Like, that scene's perfect. Like that scene is pitch perfect for everything that you wanted out of that. And then it's just, and then there's the Quidditch, which is just a CG nightmare. There's just so much stuff that they just is bad.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
I don't think in the entire series of movies they've filmed a good broom flying scene. I don't think any of them are good. There's something about that just...
Yeah, maybe the
man,
time
knuckleheads
just
flying
wasn't-
around on brooms just doesn't look right.
Yeah, and maybe the time just wasn't right for it. I don't know. But it's also weird to see all those actors, as we know them now,
Right.
Being 11 years old. But it's still, I mean, it's okay.
So,
So
quick question for you.
yeah,
As we all know, the books are kind of meant for children to grow up with them. Does it feel like this would be okay still for kids of that approximate appropriate age?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think
get
it's
bored with it? What is it's like
you
way
think it
too
just
long.
still looks kind of blah?
I think a lot of the effects, like, it's weird because like so many of the sets are really good, but the effects are not. So when you get into other stuff, but I think because of the nature of it, there's always something interesting happening after you get out of that first half hour. Because the first half hour is just basically him living with the Dursleys, who are just like irredeemable shit.
Yeah.
Like just garbage human beings through and through, never get a redeeming moment whatsoever. But that pays off because Harry, who's been shit on his entire life, suddenly goes in this world where everybody's like, oh my God, you're Harry Potter. And
He's
everyone's
rich
like,
and he's a wizard.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
which does lead to the fact that, like, the first movie, Harry wins all the time. Harry never fails at anything. You know, which I
He-
know that works
they
because
set it
of
up-
how the series
right.
goes later on. But the first book is, and the first movie is just like, yeah, Harry wins again. Harry's LeBron. Harry's dunking on people. Harry scored 40 points. You know, it's like Harry did everything.
And a triple-double.
Yeah. You know, and it's
MVP of the finals.
yeah, it's all that sort of stuff, which is kind of like, okay, you know, but I think for kids that age, that's kind of might even be what they want.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know for sure, but I just think after you get past the first half hour, there's always something interesting happening. So I don't think kids would be too bored by it, but I don't know.
I'm just always curious about that because it's a very focused perspective sort of thing. What are you knowing at?
He's looking at.
What? Okay, all right.
Yeah, but no, I mean it's sad that a movie with that much budget and like so many well cast people in it just is so average for a book that's really good, you know. But the book has all that connective tissue that the movie just doesn't get to have.
Yeah.
But God, I had forgotten about Filch, who God, I forget the actor's name now, but he's basically the dude from the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
Oh, right.
And God, he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He is so good in these, like, especially when he has to take the kids to detention in the forest. And he's like just threatening them and
Yep.
just being like, well, I hope you come back tomorrow. You know, and he's like, he was my favorite guy in the movie. And I had completely forgotten that he existed in that universe until I saw him. I'm like, holy shit, it's Red Wedding guy. And he's like even more awesome in that than he was in anything he'd done in Game of Thrones. So, yeah.
Man, that movie came out in 2001.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Yep.
We old. I remember seeing it in the theater, a packed theater,
We old.
opening night. And I remember having the same reaction, being like, man, I'm getting some episode 1 flashbacks here with John Williams' music, because that music is way more episode 1 than it is anything else. I mean, Harry Potter has his little magical theme, which is a good theme. But
That
there's,
theme is really good.
But there's so much, like, especially during Quidditch in that, it's like all this brassy instrumentation over CG bullshit. And it's like, wow, episode 1 again.
Yeah, I don't think the music in the Harry Potter movies got good until John Williams left. Like
Yeah.
they kept his little motif, but like the actual rest of the score,
It's all recycled, like Indiana Jones incidental music
Yeah.
and a little bit of Star Wars when
Yeah.
they do magic stuff.
it's just not very inspired. And then when they had other composers come in, it was like, okay, this is better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
David Bradley, by the way, is Filch.
Yeah, David Bradley. Yeah. God, he's so good.
Wait,
He's-
like from American Ninja?
no,
No.
no.
Yeah. But I'll be watching the rest of them
Soon.
eventually. Well, yeah, because Chuck has loaned me the box set now, so I don't have to rent them all for $4 a piece.
Is she reading the books at all? No.
No. She doesn't have the time to read.
No.
I thought you were going to say,
lucky I
she
can-
doesn't read.
Yeah, I'm lucky I can get her to sit down for 2.5 hours to watch each of
Audio
these.
books, yo. Get the version that Stephen Fry reads. But the Jim Dale ones are amazing, too. I mean,
It's so hard to believe that there are two different people who read audiobooks.
There's
for
actually a
something.
third one, because there's somebody read it
I
for the
find it so
American
hard
people.
to believe that there are
Didn't she
three
read
different
it?
people.
Didn't J.K. Rowling
Somebody
read
read
it
it
at some
for the
point, too?
American version, which was not those two, which I could listen to those men talk all day, every day.
Stephen Fry does have a
Have
pleasant
you
voice.
ever listen to a Jim Dale book? He's amazing, too.
I don't do audiobooks. I am very committed to the voices in my head.
Do you
But
want to cheat on them?
Yeah, but no, it's really weird to have somebody read me a book. I've tried, and it just,
I don't know.
for one, like the way I listen to things, like podcast is the most. I don't even listen to very many podcasts, but it's just difficult for me to listen to people talking for an extended length like that.
Yeah. My only problem with audiobooks is, like, I was listening to the Harry Potter series, and by the end, those chapters are like an hour and a half long. And if you pause somewhere in the middle, and God forbid you skip track, you're kind of fucked unless you're like on something where you can, physically scrub, or like you're not
Yeah.
driving. It's just like, come on, like, I get following chapter breaks in the book, but you can put a track on an iPod a little easier than the whole chapter. But anywho,
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to read real books. Thank you very much.
But watching the movies even quicker than reading or listening to the
It's true.
audiobooks.
It's true.
So, So yeah, like time is at a premium. I can't believe she's actually committed to watch 8 of these things. So we'll see. And I've only seen the first 4. I have not seen the last 4, which I still can't believe the last book is the one that they split in half and not the 4th book, which is fucking ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get that at all because the first half of the last book is them arguing in a tent.
Yep.
And now hopefully that movie is not them just arguing in a tent for 2 hours. Yeah, but it probably is, so fuck me. But at least that last movie has a lot of shit going on. So I got that to look forward to.
Which is nice.
But yeah. But it was interesting also to hear her, like, she's like, she didn't quite get why they were doing some of the things they're doing. And I think that's going to be really interesting when we get to the 3rd one, which I remember basically a thing that was very important in the book, the Time Turner, just becomes a deus ex machina in the movie because they don't establish it at all. But by the end, they're like, oh yeah, she's got the Time Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and this is how we're going to fix everything. And it's like,
Wait, what?
whoa, you didn't set that up at all.
Yeah.
Like, the book is very explicit about setting all that shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
You
also
know.
like it also puts a lot of weight behind the use of the Time Turner. Like
Yeah,
it,
like
it makes it
you pay a price.
right. It gives it a little bit of monkey's paw sort of flavor. You know.
Yeah, but in the movie they're just like, all right, time to solve everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Mirror of Erised in the first one is like a very big thing, and it's like 2 scenes, and then
Yep.
it shows up in the finale of the movie. You're like, oh yeah,
I am mirror.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a mirror.
Yeah. But anyway, so you'll get more Harry Potter soon enough.
Wizard Burton.
After I get back from pinball in Atlanta,
Fuck yes.
Goddamn right.
which is this weekend.
Yeah. If you're
If-
listening to this now, you're probably too
No,
late. to
you're not
book
too
your-
late. You
No,
can make
if
it.
It's Friday.
Get in your car.
Yeah, if this be Friday at 12:01, this will post.
That's right. Yeah.
So
You should be listening to this on your way to Atlanta.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So get
to
to
hang
Atlanta.
out and pinball with us.
Totally.
Sorry, gonna die. Don't worry about me leaving
Sorry.
behind.
Mm.
Go on without me.
We were probably going to do that anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm just waiting for the pink slip. Just cashing checks until then.
Oh. Who's paying you?
Nobody. I'm definitely not getting fired for embezzlement, if
Oh.
that's what you're asking. Gotta go. So, what else do we have for this half?
That's it.
I think you're wrong. I think we've got some correspondence right here.
Oh shit!
Well, open that shit.
I will. It is a
Physical correspondence.
physical correspondence. It is a duck envelope, a duck brand envelope.
Uh-huh.
Big manila envelope from
Manila.
Manila. Yeah.
The Philippines?
I've been there. Wait, no, I haven't.
Has your credit card been there?
It has. There, Australia. Where
Yeah.
else?
It's good.
Burundi.
Maybe.
Oh, what's the capital of Burundi?
Ta-ra, ta-ra.
I don't know. Do you?
All right, let's open
So
this thing.
okay. Anyway,
Let's get this over with.
What's in it?
let's light this candle. Well, there's some objects in there, but there appears to be a note first.
Uh-huh.
If you want to see your podcast alive,
What?
send unmarked, non-sequential bills.
And the note is made of bees. No, it is not. It says, purchase this off the rack at a Walden Books, when that was still a thing, knowing full well one day I would return it to its rightful owners. Now, almost 30 years later, I can do just that very thing. I present to you your new holy tome. Praise be to the real Tex Conway. Crash and Burn, your friends at the Death by DVD podcast. And so let's see what is in this.
So is it the Book of Urantia?
I don't know what that is.
All right. It's a joke for like 5 people.
Fucking shit, it's Robot Jocks! The book.
The novelization.
What? Wait, what?
It's Robot Jocks, the book.
Like, I
It's
just
a-
talked about how it's better to watch the movie than to read. So of course we have reading material.
Of course, we would get
Robot
paper.
jocks.
That is amazing. Who gets to read it first?
I just want to read the paragraph about the chainsaw dick.
Yes, I would like to see how they describe the chainsaw dick.
And then the nether regions opened up and out unfurled.
from betwixt his strong robotic thighs. flopped majestically.
Oh, that would be amazing.
A
If it's a
chainsaw.
romance novel.
It is romancing my bone right now.
member.
Yeah. His turgid chainsaw member.
Let me see it for a second.
Turgid.
Yeah. Wait, I would like to read a selection of words from the cover.
Okay. How many words could be on the cover?
Several. In the future, war becomes a game that only professionals can play. Robot Jocks.
I like
The
it.
novel by Robert Thurston, based on a screenplay by Joe Haldeman and Dennis Paoli. Ravioli.
That was a pretty bitchin' cover. It's like
Yeah.
super minimalist. I like it. It's like the cover of Catcher in the Rye, but for robot jocks.
Yeah, yes.
But for fighting robots.
At least it's not like
More
all
like-
one color
More
with
like
Robot
Catcher in
Jocks at the top.
Die.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, there are other items in this bottom of this envelope while you guys
man.
are looking at that. And it is a big old pile of stickers.
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 And honestly, like I might be dumb, but I don't know what this means. It says Ironside is Che. So if anybody out there, or if our friends at
Death by DVD.
Death by DVD, the podcast, man, I'm so bad at this.
Quasi embossed.
Want to clue us in on what this actually means. But they have 5 stars at the bottom, so we should perhaps just color one of them in on each of these 50 stickers.
Color
And,
1 star we're in.
Right. So I will show these to the camera for those of you that are watching on the live stream so that you can see them.
This is probably triggering some propaganda.
Yeah. It's
Call to
this
arms.
is
Just
some-
activated everyone on Earth.
Good job.
all the Manchurian candidates in the bad movie sphere.
Yeah.
Good job. The Americans just happened.
Yes.
Now we have to buy
They
a
were just
copy of
waiting
Robot
to hear
Jocks
the
at every
phrase.
bookstore we go to.
I
Waiting
would-
to hear the phrase Ironside is Che.
I would like to point out that the second page I flipped to,
Boxcar 9.
Crash and Burn Achilles is on the page. That's like the first thing that my eyes went
Yeah.
to.
I wonder what Michael Ironside this is. What movie that's from.
I was wondering if it was Ironside, like the TV show.
Nope,
think-
it's Michael Ironside.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Okay, the eyebrows.
Yep.
I guess I can go with that.
Let me see that book.
All right.
Let me see that
Sorry,
book.
I didn't
Yeah, book.
Thanks.
pass the books around.
So, how can people send us digital things?
Through the internet?
Probably.
Oh, you want me to tell them how? Huh. Harumph. As if. Well, they can email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, as everyone knows.
Yes.
They can give us a phone call, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Or they can go to the website, bmfcast.com, and check out a bunch of links to the rest of our socials over there. Those are the ways in which they can reach us.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to get a hold of us, really.
It really is.
Yeah. You just start talking about Robot Jock somewhere, we'll probably show up.
The beacon goes out and we
Yeah.
appear.
Probs.
Hi guys, I heard you talking about Robot Jocks over here.
Yeah. All 4 of us just zoop, teleport in.
Hello.
Hello. But also, speaking of this thing, give us money by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/BMFcast. That's how we can afford to do cool stuff
It is.
like this podcast and the many other podcasts that we do.
So many.
Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
All right.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. Send nudes.
Sorry, Roach Lord. Hit stop. Hit play again. You can watch the show.
Well, not really, because it's got to. As soon as we hit stop, it goes away for about an hour and a half. Renders.
About 20 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, has it gotten better? It used
It-
to be forever. Like,
Usually when I
Used
get
to be forever.
usually when I get home, I get a
Forever and
notification.
ever.
Like
okay. Forever and ever.
How your head, Chuck?
My head, all right.
Your head good?
Yeah.
Man, look at all these movies. It's a lot of son of a bitch and Harry Potter. Wait,
Man, did you even watch? Did you watch the long versions of the first 2?
Oh.
wait. What is with the 7th movie?
Oh.
Like they all have
They
artwork,
they never
and they're like movie.
they never issued an actual nice version of that one.
that's
They
the
were
dark
just like-
the dark first
Well, they
half.
probably-
Did not
had
give
to-
a fuck about that one.
They
They're
probably
like,
had to shit it out quickly because the second one was coming out in theaters so fast. Because wasn't it just like 6 months between part 1 and part 2 there at the end.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but it doesn't take very long to print discs.
Out.
Man,
I'm sure different sets have better art now. But
I'd hope so.
We can go check my bootleg, sort of bootleg UK set that's region free. It's not bootleg at all. It's just it's region free.
Good night.
Bye. See you in Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah.
See you at my house.
Oh.